football team and be physical in a big game like this.
But the question is this: I don't know, like bowls and scrolls. Do you think they're soft?
No, well, they are soft enough in big games. They are not physical running the football in big games. I don't like the word soft, but you've got to show you can be a tough coach.
Get an identity. Run the football. They got great wide receivers. They got great this and great that. They just need to run the football, establish what they used to be.
All right, some other games that we'll be covering here on ABC. Michigan against Iowa. It's a payback, Michigan hopes. Others will be in the ACC to watch Clemson take on Maryland. Your brother needs a victory. And USC against Arizona State. Check local listings for the game available in your area. And when we talked about teams that with one loss may have played themselves out of the national championship hunt, is Michigan amongst that group, or can they get back in it?
They can get back in. They lost early, and they finish up the season, I think, against an undefeated Ohio State team, win, and they head to the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
They better be worried about their opponent today, Iowa, because who can stop the run, and can John Navarre win on the road, which he's not good at.
All right, we, of course, will have scores and highlights throughout the day. Right now, let's get you back out to Jack Arute.
The Texas Longhorns have just come out of the locker room. I'm with their head coach, John Mack Brown. All right, Coach, what were the last words to the team?
Seniors, you've got 3 left. This game's about emotion. This game's about attitude. Kansas State's a tough team. We got to be tougher longer.
Good luck, Coach.
The Longhorns take the field in Austin. Only one Big Ten team has ever beaten Mack Brown in Austin. That team, Kansas State. Bill Snyder, the man who resurrected the program, and a year ago, a heartbreaking loss to Texas in Manhattan, Kansas. Marcus Tubbs, the defensive tackle, blocking a 36-yard field goal attempt with 7 seconds to go as he rises in the air. And the Horns hold on to beat Kansas State 17-14. Bill Snyder expecting another close, tough game here today against Mack Brown, who in the next 2 weeks will go a long way toward determining the fate of the Texas team this season. This week, K-State in Austin. Next week, Oklahoma, the Red River Shootout in Dallas, Texas.
They know they're good, Texas does. They want to know if they're tough. The next 2 games will determine if Texas is tough.
So Texas winning the coin toss, and like 99.9% of the teams, has elected to defer. The punter, number 35, Richmond McGee, with the ball on the tee. Been erratic, but he's coming off a good game. Mack and Sproles are back deep for the return for Kansas State. And that a beautiful kickoff. It'll come out on the 20. So L. Roberson returns, and let's meet the K-State quarterback.
Hi, I'm L. Roberson. After missing 2 games, I'm eager to get back on the field and play again.
It gives an offense the added dimension of being able to take off. One of the better running quarterbacks in all of college football. This is an entirely different looking offense when Roberson is at the controls. He missed 2+ games, and this should be a different team. His little dynamo, Sproles, is the running back. 2 fine wideouts in Terry and the unheralded freshman from Florida, Morera. Sproles on a sweep right and to daylight. 35-40, pushed out of bounds. Near midfield on the first carry of the game. Sproles runs 24 yards.
Good job by Kansas State. They went on-balance line over here and then ran back to the short side. Texas did not adjust. And right away they get the corner. Travis Wilson gets a good block. 2 guys outside for Sproles that time. And that's an easy coaching job done by Bill Snyder there. First play, on-balance line, it works for a big first down.
Out to the 44-yard line. Showing motion from the wide out back to a jammed up middle. As we take a look at the Outback Steakhouse starting lineups. The Iron Man of that offensive line, Nick Lucky, 30 consecutive. He's the only true freshman to ever start his first game for Bill Snyder. Darren Sproles, we've already seen him, only 5'7", likes to hide behind those blockers. Keep an eye on James Terry. The Horns are going to match Vasher against him all day long, so it is a matchup to watch here as this game unfolds in Austin. There's number 5, and Vasher right across from him. Coming right back to the 3rd consecutive carry, and Sproles is brought down at the 49-yard line by Cedric Griffin. San Antonio, we take a look at that Texas D. Tim Crowder, number 80. Keep an eye on him, folks. Great future, but he's a true freshman into the starting lineup. And, of course, the stud of the linebackers, D.J. Johnson, number 11. He'll slide the middle sometimes. There's Nathan Vasher and Cedric Griffin, number 8. Both will go man-to-man as number 11 looks to keep an eye on this running game. Third down after the ambush by Sproles. The Horns defense settling in, and Roberson now changes it up at the line of scrimmage. Gavin Dennis will pass it along to the other wideout on 3rd and 5. Incomplete. A forward pass, and Kansas State, after an electric first down carry of this game, is now forced to punt.
Went with a fake snap at the beginning. They determined it was going to be a blitz at Kansas State and then tried to run the bubble screen. It was just poorly executed. They had the play there.
Jared Bright, veteran punter. He's a senior, number 6. He'll try to seal his Horn team up. Nathan Vasher is the return man. He's going to stay away from it. And this one could be down inside the 5. Right at the 1-yard line, 1-foot line, if you will. A beautiful punt, and if Vasher had it to do all over again, he would have fielded it on the big hop.
Hello, I'm Chance Mock, and it's been my dream to be the starting quarterback at the University of Texas.
And here is the young man fulfilling that dream. 10 touchdowns and not a single interception. In fact, in 88 career passes, he has not thrown 1 interception. Out of the Houston area, his daddy, an NFL linebacker. He moves up, and keep an eye on number 32. They're coming out from like the 1-foot line here on their first offensive play of the game. Here is Cedric Benson. He cuts back to the hole, slips through on a nice run to the 8-yard line as we take a look at the Outback Steakhouse starting lineup for the Longhorns. Now, Mac McWhorter, the new offensive line coach. That's a headline, folks. This offensive line trying to become more aggressive as the season progresses. That was a good hole blown open. Now, Selvin Young, he was in uniform, and he's testing it, and the coaches are waiting to see if he can contribute. Now, how about this receiving corps? If there's a better one in the nation, go ahead and nominate him. I mean, this is a terrific group of receivers. And Mock showing option, keeps it on the hard way. It is first down with Buell making his first stop for this K-State defense. 21 sacks. Kevin Huntley leading the way with 5 on the season. Josh Buell, who just made that stop, he's the leading tackle. He's outstanding in space. He hides behind the lineman, gets himself good angles. And these are the guys with a major test against Roy Williams and friends today. So there is Josh Buell, a little bit of an undersized, the way we see the game unfolding, more and more safety-sized fellows moving up at that linebacking spot. First down and 10. We're scoreless. We're just underway. 1 back, and it's number 32, Benson. Mock's going to throw for the first time, and he puts it in the hands of his tight end. So number 80, Bo Scaife, makes the first catch of the game, and the tackle made by Matt Butler, the linebacker.
When Texas goes 3 wide receivers and only 1 back, here's Roy Williams, and he's matched up against a linebacker right here. That right away tells the quarterback it's zone defense, and he has a nice job hitting the tight end right there. 3 wide receivers with Roy Williams in the slot. That tips off when that linebacker walks out, and there he walks out again, that it's going to be a zone defense.
Second down and 5 for the Horns. From the shotgun, Chance Mock keeps it, eludes a tackler, but he is short of the first down. Picking up a couple of yards, Jermaine Berry, the nose man, number 91, on the stop for the Wildcats.
Such great pride by Kansas State's rush defense. Kind of a couple weeks ago, you had to wonder what happened. Marshall runs for over 200 yards. It's the first time that Kansas State has given up over 200 yards rushing since 2001 when Missouri did it. You can see Texas trying to emulate a bit of what Marshall did, running the quarterback from 3 wide outs.
Third down and 2, and they go to a double tight.
K-State
In a run formation. And a whistle, I believe I heard, prior to the snap. So we will let this Big 12 officiating crew headed by referee John Laurie sort it out for us.
Right, a snap. Ball start offense. 5 yards. Third down.
A tough penalty against Brown in Texas. This certainly will change what the Bevo Troopers are going to come up with here. But they've got that fine receiving core. And they can certainly try to put it in Roy Williams' hands for the first time. He came back for his senior year. You don't want to let him go too long without touching the football. Frustration sets in. Third down and 7. Mock is up under center. So in motion with Johnson. Helping out to that side. Mock will be looking in that direction. Underneath, deflected, incomplete, and the Horns are forced to punt because of the defensive play by Justin Montgomery. Number 92, the defensive lineman, in on that pass.
Good thing Montgomery got a hand on that because Kansas State busted on this motion. No one followed, and when the ball is thrown out in the flat, you should see that should be by Scott. They should try to cut that defensive end when you're trying to throw those short passes. Big Montgomery just puts his paw right on it. That could have been a big play for Texas.
Richmond McGee. And the freshman is back to return. Morera from Long Beach Gardens down Jupiter, Florida way. Stand back at the K-State 30-yard line. A true freshman. Unusual for a true freshman to break into Snyder's lineup. But he was a tough start. Palm Beach Gardens. If he gets daylight, he'll take off. 25, and he's swung under by the special team, and a penalty flag is down at the 22-yard line. There is a penalty on the return. A 58-yard punt by the freshman who showed us a strong leg on the opening kickoff of the game.
On the return, illegal block in the back. 10 yards, spot foul. First down, timeout.
You can see the penalty right in the middle of the screen. There it was. And it cost the Wildcats 10 yards. They'll have the ball when we come back.
We're back. Players still down on the field. How do you deal with that as a coach?
Well, you know, when a player gets hurt and you're a coach, it doesn't make a difference if it's your player or it's the other team's player. Everything stops until you're sure he's okay.
And he's up.
It looks like he's going to be all right.
Outback's curbside takeaway. Call up, pull up, then enjoy the great taste of Outback anywhere.
ABC Sports Presentation of college football brought to you by Hummer. Check out the H2 at your local dealer. Hummer, like nothing else. SBC, ordinary people, extraordinary job. And Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. At the gorgeous State Capitol building here in Austin. It was completed back in 1888. And this is some city now, the live music capital of the world, and I guess that began when Willie Nelson took hold here back in the 70s. One of his good buddies, the former coach, Darrell Royal, who's in attendance today. Shotgun Roberson on that inside handoff to Sproles, jammed up by that defensive front. Nothing doing. Well, we asked Al Roberson when Jack Arute traveled to Manhattan, Kansas, the biggest challenge facing this Texas defense.
Speed on defense. I mean, they run hard all the time. They do a lot of different looks. I mean, they just keep you on your toes 24/7. And if you could just get inside what they're doing, and just stick to your game plan, I think you could play good with them.
Now, so far, this game plan has featured Sproles, and more Sproles. 4 carries, 29 yards, and Roberson, 1 incompletion. But remember, Roberson's so dangerous when he takes off. Here he comes, but nothing doing. Again, the middle jammed, and Kalen Thornton is there with number 11, Johnson.
All right, what's it going to take for these two teams to win this football game? I think it's going to be a little bit of a victory recipe for this. I think a quarterback that plays well, or 2 quarterbacks in the case of Texas. Both teams want to control first down. That's 4 yards or more. Big plays, of course, and both teams must stop the run. Texas lost to Arkansas. They gave up over 200. Kansas State loses to Marshall, giving up over 200 yards on the ground.
Terry is matched up with Vasher at the top of your screen. You can see number 3 turn away. 3rd and 8, an obvious passing situation. You can see how Snyder has stacked the formation off to the left. Needs 8 yards, and Roberson stands tall in the pocket, Now goes downfield, incomplete. And K-State forced to punt as the Horns jump all over it. And Basher, number 3, up with the play.
The ball was a little late that time to Terry, and Nathan Basher, when he's playing bump and run, is not going to allow you to throw the ball late. He's going to be eating up those plays. You must throw on timing if you're going to beat a good quarterback the stature of Nathan Basher.
And Basher goes back to return this punt. So on the field is Jared Bright punting again. Remember, he had a beauty the last time, and Basher let it roll, and it was down at the 1-foot line. Low. Basher again staying away from it, telling everybody else to do likewise. And the Horns pick up a few yards in field position on that.
Last pass, at front 4 for Texas. Their goal is to put pressure. They had 4 sacks a year ago.
Texas football when we come back. There's the old main building and tower, and if the Longhorns win this game, of course, that tower will be illuminated by orange floodlights tonight as you hand back from the blimp and see our sellout crowd on hand here in Austin. Texas' second possession of the game was scoreless, 8:29 to go in the opening quarter with Gary Danielson and Jack Arup. I'm Brett Musburger. Mock has shown us the option, and he's going to keep it himself again. Across the 40 to the 42-yard line. What a big week next week, folks, on ABC. Miami, Florida State at high noon down in Tallahassee. Then we'll take you to Dallas. Gary and I will be there for Oklahoma, Texas. Some of you will see those other 2 games, but it doesn't get any bigger than the big 2 next week. 2nd down and 1 now, and Chance Mock showing us a little running ability. He's hung on to it twice for 10 yards. His backup, Vince Young, of course, is a weapon as a running quarterback. We'll see him probably in the next series. That's what Mac Brown was planning at least yesterday. And here is Vincent lowering his helmet behind that offensive line, running into Andrew Shull and the rest of the defense. But he moved the chains. And folks, that, Gary, is what McWhorter is trying to do with the offensive line. Get him to muscle straight ahead in that short yardage situation.
A little bit, in the last few years, a little bit of too much zone blocking. And I think Chance Mock, along with this offensive line, tough guys. This guy's a tough guy. Those options are for a reason. Not only do they think they could gain yards with him, they're showing their offensive people that our quarterback is involved in the run game. There's a whole different feel around this Texas football with Chance and Vincent Young compared to the way it was the last few years.
A lot of questions about toughness. Brent Robin, play fake, and Mock is going to put it up. Eludes the defender. Penalty flag is down high, incomplete for Roy Williams, but there is a penalty flag back at the 36-yard line.
Wow.
Well, you know, we've talked about toughness, and Gary asked Chance Mock about the toughness of this Texas team.
I think this team is naturally tougher than any team we've ever had. We get in more fights in practice, and you know, the intensity's been a lot higher.
It'll be an issue, not just today against K-State, but next week against Oklahoma. Here's what happened on that play.
Good thing there was pressure inside, because the safety, Tetuan, this time is matched up, and he falls down. That's a touchdown if the ball is thrown on timing to Roy Williams. Don't think that won't be noticed upstairs. Again, a matchup of Roy Williams versus a safety.
Back to the 35-yard line. 1st down and 20 now for Mock, who's in the shotgun. That handoff coming back the other way with Robin. Picks his way and battles back to the 40-yard line. But this will be 2nd and very long. Montgomery making another stop as we check in down below. Jack, how warm is it down below right now?
Well, Brent, it's warm, but the overcast takes a little bit of the humidity and cuts it down a bit. You know, you were talking about Chance Mock and how tough this team is. Well, Chance Mock's nickname is the General. He likes to be the leader, but that's not how he got the name. When a media member asked him to compare the Longhorn offense, he said, my job is just like the General Tommy Franks, the commander of U.S. Operations Iraqi Freedom. I just have to don't let my teammates forget it.
Come on, Jack, it's in the genes. Daddy was a linebacker. Here comes Mock now back, throw it in underneath on that slip screen to the outside and let him run. So get him the football as often and as many ways any of these wideouts. That's Sloan Thomas, number 1. The 3 of them have just got to touch the football. And a reminder of touching the football, you're going to see all the big plays coming up on our halftime show, the Valvoline halftime report.
Yards after catch were a worry for the Kansas State coaches, and you can see Texas, which Greg Davis told us, Brett, they don't want to play Kansas State in a phone booth, and you can see how they've spread out here. They've been spreading the field all game.
Passing situation for the Horns on 3rd and 9. Stand straight, hit on the release, incomplete. He was blasted by Justin Montgomery out of Smith Center, Kansas, and number 92 has been unblockable so far in this game, playing a whale of a football game.
Texas gambled a bit. They tried to run a slant and go to Roy Williams that time, but to the outside, just a beat, a flat-out beat. Jonathan Scott stunt inside, and you can see what happens. You twist those guys up front, and you confuse the pass blocking.
Terrific closing speed by the defensive lineman that time. Richard McGee now has demonstrated a very strong leg. Standing on the Horns' 32-yard line. Under pressure. Gets this one off. Morera, the freshman, going to let it go, and he is hit as he steps away from it, and it goes into the end zone. And it'll come out on the 20-yard line as we check in with John Saunders on Arizona State.
Brendan, the Verizon wireless update. USC last week a loser to Cal. How would they come out? They had the lead, but then Andrew Walter goes 12 yards to Skylar Fulton, and Arizona State gets right back at him, ties the game at 7 apiece.
It's a wide open race out of the Pac-10. I mean, anybody can make a run for the roses out there in that conference this year. Mark is on the phone talking to the offensive coordinator, Greg Davis, who is upstairs in the Texas coaching booth. And now Roberson passing on the chain to the fullback. Relays that message to Sproles. We see Kansas State. There was movement by the left guard. There was no question on that play that Lilia jumped prior to the snap. So this is going to go against K-State.
Prior to snap, false start offense. Replay, first down.
Well, the aerial coverage for the game, courtesy of the Outback Steakhouse, Bloomin' Onion. The Outback Steakhouse airship specializes in college football and PGA golf coverage. Look for the Bloomin' Onion at sporting events throughout 2003. We thank you for the great pictures.
A little bit surprised Kansas State is using so much check-with-me offense at the line of scrimmage. Texas doesn't fool you. They're coming up. You know they're going to have 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, and they're playing man in the defense. Just call the play and let her rip.
First and 15. Roberson and K-State. Pump fake and then drop it off to the running back, Sproles, but the Horns were ready for that play. And they jump it with Dakare Pearson, number 9, the free safety, leading the way. So with Jack Arute, Gary Danielson, I'm Brent Musburger from Austin, Texas, on a warmish afternoon. Right now it's been a defensive battle, and licks are being handed out by both defenses in this game. This game for men only as the Big 12 conference action gets underway. And now it'll be 2nd down and 15. You can see the total yards here so far. Not much difference in this game. Searching for a big play.
Kansas State in an unbalanced line again. Changing again.
And if they were changing, it's causing his offensive lineman, I believe, to move here.
Absolutely. Getting a little too cute, I think, Kansas State
and they also may have called a timeout before the move. They actually, no penalty on the play. They called the timeout before there was movement. So a lot of check with me, a little bit of confusion, noise here in Austin. Coach Snyder will sort it out.
Good-looking move. On the football.
Well, in truth, they didn't get the timeout called. And while you were away, they marched off 5 more yards and penalties. And Gary, what can Kansas State do now to correct the communication problem?
Well, it does. I think they should just snap the ball. They're trying to get a little too cute, trying to get the perfect play, but the noise and the speed of that Texas defensive line has L. Roberson's offensive line a little jumpy, and every time he tries to change the play, they're flinching. That's the third one so far in this football game.
3 penalties. It has cost K-State 20 yards already. From behind Sproles. And that offensive line. 2nd down and long.
See if they don't go deep.
Option. Pitch Sproles. And he is surrounded. What great ball pursuit that was. Kalen Thornton, number 43, the senior from Dallas, coming real hard from the backside. And I cannot tell you how aggressive this defense looks right now, coached by Carl Reese.
You're right from the back defensive end. Reed Boyd gets the hit on the quarterback that time. And when you stop and you have to slow down, Cedric Griffin was right there to slow the play down, and that pursuit made the tackle.
Tough play. Down in the noisy part of the stadium here in Austin. 3rd down and 22. The Horns try to rush 5. Roberson moves the pocket hard right, throws low, diving incomplete. Well, let's check in on the Michigan Wolverines. We send you to New York and John.
Brandon, it's the BCS Spotlight game presented by ADT. And you can see Chris Perry. If he can run, Michigan is going to be successful. That one from 5 yards out, and the Wolverines grab a 7-0 lead. Brent.
It's a big revenge game, Jeff, for the Wolverines. They were smacked around in their homecoming game by the Hawkeyes, and they're trying payback as it's 4th down.
Vasher has moved up this time, Brent. He's moved a lot closer. Those balls have been falling in front of him. Now he's moved up 35 yards. He should catch this punt.
Wright's 3rd punt. His first too low and bounce block. End zone touchdown, Texas! The special teams come up with the play. And for the Longhorns, Tony Jeffrey, number 12, in the end zone. Bounces on it, and the Horns strike first.
Kansas State had moved their winger in, but Tony Jeffrey comes right around the outside right there and just lays out. I think it was Michael Huff, number 7, who got the block. And then Jeffrey falls out. And you see just the push there to the outside. Michael Huff just lays out. He was covering the gunner that time. He shifted in. Kansas State just didn't block him.
Dusty Mangum on the field for the extra point. And Jeffrey, who scored the touchdown, is the holder, remember. So he will put this ball down. He does. A little bit of a knuckleball, but it's good. And the Longhorns, led by an aggressive defense, turn loose the punt block team. And Huff, a starter in the defensive backfield. Huff with the block. And Jeffrey, one of their talented wide receivers, through with the touchdown.
A shove, another shove. Kicker was trying to kick an angle kick to the right. He kicks it right into Huff that time for a touchdown for Texas. Explosive plays come in any area of the game. All coaches will tell you, first explosive play goes to Texas.
The first impression that I have here today is forget all those stories about toughness and this Longhorn football team. I want to go back to their loss. Their loss to Arkansas when people started jumping up and down. If you follow the Razorbacks the next couple of weeks, and especially through Alabama last week, when they were down by 20 points and rallied to win, that loss now doesn't seem quite as bad as it did at the time. The Razorbacks may be a much better football team. You have to value certain losses. And I still cannot explain how Marshall went into Manhattan and beat Kansas State. That, to me, is a much more difficult loss to swallow now. With McGee the ball on the tee now, and the Horns kicking it off. They are dominating this game. Take a knee and it'll come out of the 20. Now let's check in with our colleague down below, Jackaroo. Jack.
Well, Brett, you can't understand how Marshall went in and defeated the K-State Wildcats. Neither could the fans, the players, or the coaches. On Monday morning after that game, Bill Snyder brought his team in a closed-door 30-minute meeting after that 27-20 loss. No one spoke except the head coach. And then in that meeting, he distributed a set of typed goals and objectives for the rest of the year and left the team with one challenge. Stop paying lip service in wanting to get better, have a solid and sound preparation for Texas, and improve.
Roberson up under center. Trailing for the first time. That option look, they force him to pitch it, and they are all on the spills with Johnson. Now, let's take you back to that Marshall game. And let's give you a taste of how they were able to win it here, Gary, on this fumble recovery. Now watch the snap, bobbled, the pitch, simply intercepted.
Yes, Jeff Schwinn, the backup quarterback's in there, makes a fatal mistake of trying to correct an early mistake. He never got his eyes on the pitch man, and that cost him.
Second down at 15. Coach Snyder searching for some kind of an answer here.
Can I give you my impression I've got? Derek Johnson has turned into a man. We saw him as a potential great player. Now he's a real great player.
Number 11, and Roberson. There comes Johnson, and that time he's blocked. And that set that gain up for Roberson because Gary had circled Johnson, and they are able to block him on that play, and Roberson turns it upfield.
That is absolutely the key. If you're going to run the ball against Texas, you must block number 11. He lines up deep, sideline to sideline. He gets on the play. This time he's blocked inside by Clary, the cutback play. But you watch number 11, it's very difficult to run the ball past him.
And of course, on the next play, which I was talking about, he was blocked. And it is third down and 1. So a short yardage situation. You put the ball in number 3's hands. There he is conferring with the fullback as he breaks the huddle. That's Travis Wilson. This needs to get to the 30. You would think Roberson could do it. And they don't get it off. Too much time. Another penalty. Another mistake. If you look from Roberson, and you know what? I just have to feel he's a little rusty.
Right.
He hasn't played in 2+ games. And I'm going to give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt this time. But this is another costly penalty because they were in third and short.
Play game. It's first call. Replay. Third down. 5-yard penalty.
Tomorrow at 8/7 Central on a new 10/8 for this rookie and his training officer. Everyday training day. 10/8 officers on duty. Part of Sunday on ABC tomorrow at 8/7 Central. Now here we go. Third down. And it is longer after the penalty. Already in it. 4 penalties for 25 costly yards. Fake the quarterback draw, almost intercepted by Johnson. He had 2 interceptions last week against Tulane. He would have rolled for 6. He was looking at the orange in the end zone, folks.
Some guys,
right to it.
Some guys you don't have to teach a lot to. And number 11 has just great instincts. Now he's grown to be a man. He reads L. Roberson's eyes, and look at that. It was just thrown so hard he couldn't catch it, but he was right in line.
So here is Bright again now. This one off. Thatcher to field it low at the 40-45 hole in the middle. Into K-State territory as he busts across the 45-yard line. Now, as we look down, we have a flag on the field, so we'll
unsportsmanlike, both teams. Ball in play. No foul, no yardage.
Now we see number 10 with his helmet on. Number 10 is coming in. This is the series in which Vince Young is coming in with an entire new offensive line. Only the wide receivers. There'll be a big roar. This young man, one of the most ballyhooed recruits to come here, and they've had a lot of them. He too is out of the Houston area. He is a gifted athlete, folks. They don't give him the full package to work with, but I'll tell you right now, there's nothing that he can't do on the football field. At midfield, quarterback draw, taking off to the right now. He's the fastest man on this Longhorn team. Down to the 37-yard line on first down, and Cedric Williams makes the stop.
How would you like to have your backup quarterback that has scored every time he's been on the field with the second unit? That's what type of player he is. And as you mentioned, he doesn't have the full package, but I really like now they're using Chance Mock and making sure Vincent Young grows in the offense.
Well, at the end of the game, let's select the Chevrolet player of the game from each team, and Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. A 7-yard run for Young puts him in second and 3. He has 1 running back in behind him. Benson. So they left Benson in the lineup with Vince Young as we check in with Jack.
Well, Brett, before the game, you and I were huddled with Mac Brown, and I asked Mac to compare Vince Young to a thoroughbred horse. And he said, that's easy. He's a 2-year-old. It's 3-year-olds that win Kentucky Derbies. He says he's still got a little bit of seasoning yet to come.
But he is indeed gifted, Jack. No question about that. First down at 10. He's electric. Can't tell you how impressed I was watching him in practice. He's got a deep arm. Showing the option look. He get outside on you. And he's tackled from behind. And Brian Hickman, the linebacker from Mesquite, Texas.
Just the type of plays that Texas runs now with Chance Mock and Vincent Young makes them a tougher team. They're coming off, firing off the ball. Last year when you watched them with Chris Sims, nothing against Chris Sims, they were a drop back, 3-step, throw the ball, finesse team. They're no longer a finesse team. They're coming off the ball, hitting you in the mouth.
Second down and 6. They offset the fullback. Cedric still the running back. He's rushed 3 times for 13 yards. Option, Cedric's the pitch man, and Young had no thought of pitching it as he crosses the 20 with another Horn first down. And again, Hickman, but it's a 10-yard gain now for Young, who already has 21 yards and 3 carries. Folks, 3 carries, he's the Horns' leading rusher already.
We saw Darrell Royal before the game, Brent, as we look at the injured player right there. I wonder if he's saying the old wishbone is back here at Texas. It's a 5th option play that Texas has run here in the first quarter.
That's Matt Butler, I believe, the linebacker, who is down on the field, the sophomore. Training staff for Kansas State is out there with him.
You said he wasn't going to pitch the ball at all. I don't even know if he had the ball in his left hand. He glances at the running back, comes in and then just fakes it wonderfully, carries the ball in his right hand, even though he's running to the left on an option play. They're going to have to work on that.
Well, you know, you wonder if there's a controversy between Mock and Young. And Chance was asked about the quarterback system, and does that affect his game?
It hadn't affected it at all. If that's what it's going to take to win, then you know, I'll play my role, and when I'm in there, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm not going to change my game to try to be like Vincent, because we're different quarterbacks.
And the two are good friends. They came out to practice together. They watched them in conversation a lot. They pull for each other. And frequently, Vince Young, when he comes off the field, goes right to Chance Mock to talk to him as Butler up now and walking off under his own power. So here's the Wonderkin. The quarterbacks here in Texas, you might as well call them 5 and 10, folks. Number 5, Chance Mock, replaced by number 10, Vince Young. Here we come. Chance to take a blow over there on the sideline. Ted Sims replaces the injured Butler. Slot for Young on first down. Ball at the 20-yard line. There's the draw play. Benson. He batters his way straight ahead. I know a lot of people have not thought that Benson has been a real successful running back here at Texas. But if you take a look at the numbers that Benson has put up in his first 2 years, as we check this Longhorn ground game, of course, Cedric Benson. Young has been nicked. We have not seen him in this game yet, but Vince Young is certainly a playmaker.
And that's what Vince Young gives you the ability for another running back when Selvin Young is injured like he is today, or nicked like he is today.
Second down. Here he comes again. Benson kicking his way. Made the most of it, close to a first down. And again, I want to go back on Cedric Benson's first 2 years here with the Longhorns and compare him with a couple of actually Heisman Trophy winners. I mean, there's nobody any better as running backs than Ricky Williams and Earl Campbell. Measures up real well, doesn't he, folks? We've got a timeout at the end of the first. Well, I think our producer, Bob Goodrich, had a great question there during that break. Let me put it now to Gary. What surprises you the most here?
I guess Kansas State is kind of shooting themselves in the foot too much. Roberson is rusty, as you admit. I mean, he hasn't played in a while. Jumping off sides. You can't beat a good Texas team on the road like this in Austin. If you're beating yourself, you're not going to beat anybody, let alone Texas.
Right straight ahead for the first down. This will give them first and goal as they muscle their way toward the end zone for Mack Brown, who certainly has proven to be one of the great recruiters of the last 10 years. When you think back to this Texas program and how far it has come under him, now, of course, the burden he has to get over is to win the, quote, big one, unquote. And that comes down to 2 games. That's the BCS championship game and Oklahoma next week. Those are the games that these fans here in Austin and the media want him to win. Mack knows it, but he has done a fabulous job of bringing talent in here. No question about that. First down and goal now. Ball inside the 10-yard line. And here is Young rolling on the option. There's that pick to Benson. It's a dive toward the end zone. And did they give it to him over there? Is he out? Out of bounds.
I'll tell you, Cedric Benson has gained 18 pounds this year from last year. He looks quicker to me, or more determined. Something about the way he's running is better than what I saw a year ago. He was nicked all last year with toes, ailments. You're seeing a real Cedric Benson. Pitch way late here. Benson goes right down the sideline, strung out by Kansas State. Now watch him turn that corner, just steps out with 1 foot. Look at that dive. That was Ricky Williams-like.
James McGill was really keeping an eye on Young. Now they bang straight ahead. Wildcats ready for that from the 3-yard line.
What I'd like to see Texas do right now with Mack Brown is put it right on the offensive line. Run the ball 3 straight times. 3rd down right here. Let's see if he can stick it in the end zone. Probably an option play with Vince Young or a rollout. If you get him on the outside where he can run past.
Mack McWhorter now in charge of that offensive line. The tough guy out of Georgia.
Everybody's confused here.
Line coach at Georgia Tech, and they're going to use a timeout. You can see Mack and McWhorter.
Yeah.
Did they get it? They did not on 3rd down. Here comes Young rolling. Doesn't want to take the sack. And he's inside the 5 clock. Continues to run. They whistled it dead. Eccles makes the stop. You can hear the whistle.
Yeah, there was confusion in the huddle. The Texas coaches knew it, but they could not get it to the side, up to the huddle, and take a timeout. 3rd down, confusion will always cost you.
Mangum trots onto the field.
That's a big stop by Kansas State right there. Keeps him in the ball game until Roberson catches his stride here.
And the man who scored their touchdown, Tony Jeffrey, in case you just joined us, blocked hung by Huff. He recovered it for the touchdown. Now he'll put down the attempt for a 22-yard field goal. You see the breeze. And Mangum pounding it into sort of a windless sky. Texas now leads Kansas State by 10 points.
Allstate presents Good Hands Flashback. In the 2001 Red River Shootout, Texas quarterback Chris Sims ran into a stifling Oklahoma defense. Late in the 4th quarter, backed into his own end zone, Sims is ambushed.
There's the blitz. Touchdown, Lehman. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Williams got him on the blitz. Lehman on the pick. OU is going to win it again.
Here's the Nissan drive summary, and Gary, buckle up your shoes.
Not one throw on that drive with arguably, and I agree with you, the 3 best receiving corps on one team in college football.
McGee with his strong leg. Ball up at the 35. So clearly there's a little breeze in the face on that side as Morris comes out to the 24-yard line. Well, let's find out how Iowa is doing against Michigan, John.
Well, the Wolverines had a 14-0 lead, but back comes Iowa. Nathan Chandler, 6-yard run here as he looks like he's going to be hauled down. Spots an opening, hoofs it to the end zone, and now it's a 14-7 lead for the Wolverines. Brent.
Yeah, John, linebacker didn't wrap him up, huh? 14-7, good one there. Here it's 10-0. Roberson trying to get back in rhythm. See the difficulty he's having with the pass. Communication is a problem.
Sproles is not in.
And he pulled out too soon. There's 5 yards right there. You could see Roberson pull out early. There was no question. And this Jack, I think it's about as noisy here in Austin as I've ever heard it.
And I would have to agree with you. And the interesting thing is they know that they are creating a disruptive situation. No sooner does the K-State Wildcats break the huddle than you hear the tempo and the noise increase dramatically.
Yeah, but you've got a senior quarterback here. Kansas State has played in tough venues. You must adjust this. You can't let the crowd beat you. Kansas State needs to throw deep. Look at them. They're playing man-to-man the whole game. Another change.
And the crowd just grows louder and louder. First down at 15. I believe he pulled out. He did early again, but maybe got away with this one. Here is the deep ball. Intercepted. Picked off by Cedric Griffin. What a nice catch that was. He laid out on the pick.
The receiver gave up on the play. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was Devin Dennis, number 15 or number 10. But you do not have 40-yard comeback routes. Watch this. Receiver to the top of the screen goes deep, and then he stops. The ball has already been thrown. Goes and gets it, the other guy stops. You don't have a route like that. There's never been a route designed where you go 40 yards downfield and run a hook.
Griffin hugged on the sideline as he comes off. And Mock is back in as the Horn quarterback. Johnson comes in motion toward the line. Play fake now. Robin couldn't get his man. And Rashard Washington, the senior from Wichita, Kansas, rolls in from the back.
Just a two-man route for Texas that time. Texas tried to go for the home run ball. They've been running it. We showed it 10 straight run plays. They come back in with Chance Mock. They run a play-action pass play, try to go deep, and no one handles the strong safety blitz.
That running back fanned on the blitz that time. And he left Mock exposed. Second down and 29 now with a 10-point lead. There's 9 up there in the box. Kansas State. They knew what was coming, and Robin's going nowhere. Now it's time for this week's Aflac trivia question. The Horns have had a 1,000-yard rusher in each of the last 8 seasons. Who are the 4 Longhorn running backs who have been part of this streak? Hint. 4, and yes, of course, Ricky is one of them. But who are the other 3, in addition to Ricky Williams? He'll have the answer.
You know, even looks like that Texas is dominating. Look at this, only 63 yards on offense for Texas.
Third down and 30, the touchdown scored by the special teams, the punt block unit, in the end zone. Now there's 7 up there on third down and 30, and then the offside. Maybe a free pass down the middle. Going deep. Johnson's tripped. This will be another penalty flag. No, the field judge doesn't throw it. I can't believe it. He's in front of the Longhorn bench, and Johnson appeared to be tripped, but he must have ruled that it was just incidental. Mack is just livid with this. Yep. How could you not throw that flag? K-State was offside.
5 yards. Replay third down.
You'll see it a matchup. Jordan against Johnson this time. Looks like they click feet as they're running. One guy steps on the other guy's foot. He goes down, and they call incidental contact.
Do you agree with it, Gary?
They got 5-yard penalty on it.
Way to duck the issue. Third down and...
we met the officials. Nice guys.
They are nice guys. Well, the reason Mack is upset here is that would have been an automatic first down, folks. Only a 15-yard penalty. He wanted the first down. He's now kept in 3rd and 25, so that is not a very small situation that unfolded. Mock in the pocket downfield, high. Johnson can't get it. He would have had the first down at midfield, and it was just a touch high on that play. Andrew Shull there with his headgear off, and Mock a little shaken up on his play.
Mock got hit hard on that play. The Kansas State pass rush has been a factor in this game so far.
McGee back on the field now. He's had that 58-yarder, and they use Morera, the freshman, as their punt return man. So a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Austin, Texas, and a defensive game unfolding as the Big 12 Conference opens conference play for the Longhorns and Kansas State. State. High short that time. Herrera lets it bounce and takes a Texas bounce. Down to the 36-yard line. So, El Roberson will be back to try again.
Thanks for letting me bring Phoebe.
Oh, anything for you, baby. I'd give you the moon, the stars, and the ultimate love potion. Ice cold Bud Light.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Don't worry, I got him.
ABC's Sports Presentation of College Football brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. The Home Depot, you can do it, we can help. And Capital One, what's in your wallet? Well, that, folks, is a landmark here. Capital Salary, founded back in 1930 by T.C. Buck Steiner. And now it's moved to its current location on Lavaca Street. That Steiner family, still very active in rodeoing. They're a great bulldogging family. And, man, you got the best saddles in the world handmade down there as El Roberson is being stopped by Marcus Tubbs, the defensive tackle.
Well, Marcus Tubbs is having a great year, along with Roger Wright, the two defensive tackles. That's what this defense can make a difference. Those two guys inside, getting penetration, running around blocks. Look at that quick 320 pounds, run around a block and get back and get the tackle. Wonderful play inside.
Second down and 11 coming up for Roberson and Kansas State. So Marcus Tubbs and the defense with a point to prove here today. Folks have been saying that they're not tough enough. Second down and 11. In on Roberson. He slips free for the first time. First down. As he crosses the 45-yard line. Crowder to make the stop. That was a heck of a run by Roberson that time. That's the first time we've seen him get loose, Barry.
A little different formation. Kansas State flanked their fullback out wide. Texas did not handle it well, and that got the space for Roberson to run. Now look, this game seems really lopsided in Texas' favor. A lot of mistakes by Kansas State. Only 10-0. They got the ball at the 50-yard line. Kansas State and Bill Snyder will not panic. Still in this ball game. Wonder where Darryl Sproles is, though. Darren Sproles.
Timeout. Roberson uses the timeout here with 9:30 to go in the second quarter. Well, you can see that Darren Sproles, with his first carry of this game, was red hot. Got the Longhorn defense by surprise. But since then, they've really shut it down. And Kansas State, without a single-yard passing here. Not that Texas passing game has been brilliant, but K-State with the goose egg. Now 1st and 10 from that eye. Here's the draw. Sproles sprints free. 40-yard line, 35, and wrestled out of bounds by number 8, Griffin. It's a first down for Kansas State.
You know what happened to Texas that time? They lost him. And when you watch Darren Sproles, that's one of the things that makes him good. When he's coming through there, he's short, 5'7" or so. Hard to find in between all those big guys. But you know what? When you're short and small, you're just hard to knock down. This guy's got great balance on the first hit and speed to burn. That was a big pop-out. I think they need to run Sproles more right at that defense.
That was a 20-yard gain for him, and they come right back with 43. The Horns will look at the penetration by number 11. Look at Johnson, who slipped through on that gap. Now, he didn't make the stop, but he helped disrupt that play. I mean, he is all over this field. Robinson gets credit for the tackle, but Johnson was in busting it up. He is as impressive a linebacker as we have seen this season.
What's maybe Teddy Lehman and Derek Johnson have been the two most outstanding linebackers I've seen this season.
Yeah, Teddy Lehman is a great one. We'll see him next week for Oklahoma. Man, what a linebacking showdown that'll be. Second down and 7. Here comes Bulls again off a different look. And cruises across the 25-yard line. Giger makes the stop. Our Pacific Life game summary. And here's the touchdown. The block punt by Jeffrey recovery. Vincent Young's running, set up the field goal, and we stand at 10-0 as the Longhorn defense is doing the rest. But Kansas State mounting a comeback here. They have a first down inside the Horns' 25 to 21-yard line. And number 43 is doing the job, and just what Gary suggested. Start pounding the ball right at the middle. Eager. Making the stop for the safety.
Yeah, you know why, Brent? They're too fast. You can't run around them. You just follow the fullback. Travis Wilson is a great blocker. Just hand it to him, get a hat on a hat, and take your chance. You got a small running back. They're playing man-to-man coverage. That means you don't have a safety in the box very much, and run right at this defense. They're not fast enough on the offensive line to reach and block these guys.
Down in four, the two wideouts go out to the right. Terry has been shut down by Basher. But it's that running game coming alive now. The option, Roberson rolling to the right. He's cut off. And still managed to post to the 10-yard line. Tripped him up. Well, which of next week's games will be the best? Now, we told you about Miami, Florida State. There's Oklahoma, Texas. Michigan has to go in for a Friday nighter against the unbeaten Golden Gophers of Minnesota. Georgia, Tennessee in the SEC, and then Louisiana Monroe against Louisiana Lafayette. Somebody's got a sense of humor.
Can't lose on any one of those, can you?
I guess not. Ohio State, Wisconsin won't be too bad either.
Look at Kansas State spread them out on 3rd and short.
Looking for that first down run if they can get it. Here comes Sproles, bounces outside to the right. Great effort by Sproles as he got back to the line of scrimmage and dove for it. It looked like he was going to take a loss, but somehow he managed to pick his way through the traffic.
That was a very interesting play, Brent. It was almost a draw play on 3rd and 1 at time. They handed the ball back very deep to Sproles. Watch it, Sproles will just stand there, get the ball, and then there's Derek Johnson right there. A jump back, bump, jump right back, and then get right there, almost getting the first down. I don't think he got it.
It's the measurement. Right there, they need that.
It does appear that Kansas State is not checking off any more plays anymore. They're just dialing up a play and going for it, and it's been successful for them.
You would think they just dial up Roberson straight ahead.
Yes, yes.
Fourth down in inches. No need getting fancy here. Texas with a goal line look. And Roberson, that was tight. Well, he kept working. That was very close. He kept going.
Yep. If he hadn't, he wouldn't have made it because Wright and Tubbs, the two defensive tackles, stuffed it.
See where they spot it. If he got it, it was on the second effort. Crew's going to bring the chains out. Remember, this is 4th down, not 3rd down.
You know, it's interesting. Some officials just give you the first down, and they just say, I saw you go forward, and I'm giving it to you. And some want to actually make the measurement. Very interesting how different guys do it differently.
Oh, man. Whoa. A stop for the Longhorns.
You see the two big guys, they're right on the shoulder of the center, Nick Leckie that time. Try to go forward, nothing, bounces, gets hit in the back. I tell you, you could have gone either way, and obviously he was within an inch, and he didn't make it.
The tackles, Wright and Tubbs, jammed up the middle. They got low, and they got penetration, and they blew up 4th and inches. Timeout. Gary Danielson, Jack Arute. I'm Brett Musburger from Austin, Texas. Home of the Longhorns, who lead Kansas State in the Big 12 opener for both schools. 10-0 now. Chance Mock and Cedric Benton is back in as the Longhorn running back. Benson with 29 yards and 7 carries. This is his 8th carry of the game. Speaking of running backs, they've had a 1,000-yard rusher in each of the last 8 years. Who are the 4 Longhorn running backs who've been part of the streak? Sean Mitchell. Back in 95. There's Ricky. He put together 3 great years. Hodges Mitchell with 2. And then, of course, Cedric Benson. And he's working on his 3rd year of 1,000 yards. Second down and 8. Now we'll use a timeout. So he's coming over to the sideline, and we'll take a break. Texas shutting out K-State 10-0.
Tiger Woods had the best round of the week on Friday. Vijay Singh had the best score of the week on Saturday. He shot 64 and moved into contention today. And the 2 players right in the middle of the Player of the Year chase go head-to-head in tomorrow's final round of the American Express Championship at 1:30 Eastern on ABC. Now back to your game.
There is the points per game. Texas averaging better than 51 a game, despite their 1 loss at the hands of Arkansas. Gary, you raised an interesting question yesterday in the production meeting when you said, is anybody but he's surprised that Priest Holmes didn't rush for 1,000. I was just going to answer that.
I was going to say, is that right? He never got 1,000 yards. With the hottest back in the NFL right now, isn't he?
You got a great one tomorrow. It'll be Dick Vermeil's Kansas City Chiefs.
You know what's striking me here so far, Brent, is that Roy Williams does not have a catch in this game. 11 yards passing for this football team in this game. You wonder if he might get a bit frustrated.
Of course, the Chiefs will be playing the Denver Broncos tomorrow as Roy Williams comes back into the huddle. Looking for his first catch here today. Knocked up under center. Going to try to get it to him. He was going to force the ball to Williams, and Kevin Huntley said, I don't think so. Number 52, and pump fake, and Mock said, I'm still going to get you the football. Let me come back with it.
I'll tell you, Chance Mock is very fortunate here because he double clutched it. He had Huntley in his way. It was going to be a wide receiver screen with the lineman pulling up. Now what? He jumps, and now he's going to throw it late. And Cedric Williams, number 4, was all over that play, and it could have been intercepted.
Huntley, folks, is 6'8". 6'8".
And quick.
And you got Mock, a lot smaller than that. I mean, that's like looking over a mountain. Get it out there on that side with his arms up in the air on that. Now Mock back in the pocket, throws it deep middle, got Johnson, and he just overthrew him. Johnson had broken free, and Mock knows it. Just a touch shorter. Johnson would have walked in for 6 points. Well, tomorrow, ABC puts on Sundays. They do practice. Critics call it good provocative television. This week, the Emmy-winning cast is joined by Sharon Stone and Chris O'Donnell. An all-new practice tomorrow at 10, 9 Central on ABC.
Kansas State defense hanging in here, keeping their team in this football game.
See now, McGee. Line of scrimmage was kept clean. Freshman on the big hop, going nowhere.
Good play, though. Didn't let it roll all the way down the field.
So Marrera fields it on the hop. And the great views here from Austin being provided by that Outback Steakhouse airship, the Bloomin' Onion. Captain Mitch Johnson is at the controls up high above Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium today.
Who would have we ever thought about this? I mean, James Terry, the wide receiver from Kansas State, and Roy Williams, neither one of them with a catch in this football game so far. 2 of the playmakers in this game.
Neither team with 100 yards of offense. Kansas State has run for 89. Texas has run for 55 and passed for 11. First down and 10. Here comes Sproles again. Battling his way close to midfield.
Well, you can see what Bill Snyder has grabbed onto right now. They are going to run the ball at Texas. They had success with it last time. Nice drive, did not finish it off, not getting that first down on 4th down, but they found that if they run at Texas, they have a little bit more success. And then you watch, Robeson will keep it, little belly option afterwards.
And new coaching staff as far as the coordinators are concerned. Greg Peterson and Dale Miller working with Coach Snyder. Both are upstairs spotting. Second down, option look, and Roberson to the short side. Penalty flag. Face mask. Timmy Crowder appeared to be over there, and Mack is not happy on that sideline. I mean,
Face mask, 15 yards. Wow,
that's a big
first down.
Mack is arguing it should have been an incidental face mask, just a 5-yard penalty. It is number 80. Timmy Crowder comes across. Yes, that impedes him. I don't think he hit him on his shoulder or the face mask. It was very close.
Anytime the neck swivels like that, they'll hit you with the 15.
Yep. But that's a big first down for Kansas State, because that would have been third and long. Well,
Ball is marched off inside the 35-yard line as Kansas State continues to muscle this drive now.
Mack is working. This is the most I've seen Mack work in a few years I've been here covering games.
He knows he's in an alley fight. The Wildcats. Roberson off a play fake. He's dangerous in this situation. He's got a first down. Johnson rides him down, but not before Roberson reaches the 21-yard line on the quarterback keeper for 13 yards. Man, when he drops back, you just cannot lose containment.
I'll tell you, I think you can see the game plan that Bill Snyder has latched onto here now. They are going to run the ball right at Texas. They're going to throw in some options, and then they'll play action pass with the option of the quarterback, because it's man-to-man coverage, being able to scramble for big plays. They have something to hold on to now, Kansas, and it's working for them. Excuse me, Kansas State, it's working for them.
Roberson settling in. Just a little rusty after missing a couple of games. There is that little man size picking is where you can see him kind of cut back in behind the blocker, sort of pick up daylight in the middle. And we remind you now, coming up with the Valvoline halftime show, join John, Terry, and Greg to have highlights and analysis, and they'll preview next week's biggin between Miami and Florida State. And did Miami ever escape Thursday night against West Virginia? 4th and 13, and Alan Winslow from Brock Berlin keeps it alive. And now K-State, 13 straight rushing plays.
He didn't look like much last time on first down, but look at that, 4 yards on first down.
Danny Morris replaces Sproles. Option, Roberson, nowhere. Jammed in the middle by number 11, Derek Johnson. Might as well spy on him. Might as well be 11 against 3 here.
Marcus Tubbs that time, Brent, is the guy that turned him back into Johnson. Getting that penetration on that option play forces the Roberson to stop. Watch Tubbs get upfield right there and force Roberson to stop. Tubbs upfield, push, 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 back right in to Derek Johnson.
Third down again, and it's a big one. 7 yards the Horns need. They must reach the 11-yard line to keep this drive going. End around look. And it is the freshman from Florida. Not going to get close. Back to the 24-yard line as Texas stays at home on the end around, and Marrera is stuffed, and now it'll be Joe Ream field goal time for K-State.
Curious call. 3rd and long. Texas has 2 deep safeties to run a reverse. You know Texas is going to have a wide pass rush angle on that one. Curious call on 3rd and long.
Joe Ream attempting to put K-State on the board with a 41-yard field goal. Behind the goalpost. Beautiful. 10-3. Joe Ream with the field goal, and Kansas State is on the board.
They may not be intimidated by Coach Gruber or our Super Bowl trophy or even our nasty defense. But our pirate ship, man, that thing will give anyone the willies.
Coach Bucks, Monday night on ABC.
And so Tony Dungy returns to take on the team where he created that defensive monster. And then John Gruden, with all his offensive wizardry, he led them to the Super Bowl triumph. And John, the last week that the Buccaneers have had off, been around the country hawking his book. Do you love football? Now, was he distracted by selling books? Don't you would like to believe so, but that is going to be a dandy, and I believe Indianapolis got Tampa Bay's attention when they put the double nickel on New Orleans last week. Let me tell you, Tampa Bay will be ready to play a little D.
I think so.
So Joe Ream will kick it off here, and if Snyder could convert some third downs and some fourth downs here, they're 0 for 6 on third down. They were missed their fourth down.
Here's where it gets tough for Texas, Brent. Vincent Young has been their best offensive weapon, but you really don't want to change up your rotation with quarterbacks right now. It's too early in the season to make that type of switch.
From the 8-yard line, Robin. Right, straight ahead. Short of the 30-yard line.
Well, you come into that last series, Roy Williams has not caught a ball. Is he hustling? Is he a decoy? What's going on here? You can see that they're using him more as a decoy. There he is running a little teeny crossing route. You get anybody to run that route. No way yet to find number 4 with his hands on the ball. They tried quick screen, they tried a deep post, they tried a slant. So far, a zip.
Chance Mock from the shotgun. Williams is off to his left. Sloan Thomas to his right, and the right tackle, I believe it was Blaylock, pulled up on the play, and that'll cost him 5 yards right now prior to the snap.
Prior to snap, ball start offense. 5 yards, still first down.
So now Texas making some of those tiny mistakes that are costly. And they've been penalized 4 times for 35 yards. K-State 6 times for 35 yards. Down to the final 2 minutes. Roberson and Snyder conversing over on the far sideline, and Snyder running down some things he wants done. Here's Benson. Back just beyond the original line of scrimmage and forced out of bounds on the far side.
He beat Josh Boole that time, a very quiet player in this game. Their leading tackler, number 7 linebacker for Kansas State. We haven't seen much of him. You can see that's because the front 4, I've been very impressed with Kansas State's front 4. They come in as the #1 sack team in the Big 12, and they've shown why.
Williams is out to the short side of the field here on 2nd down and 7. Mock from the gun. Tries the receivers and then drops it off again to Benson. And again, diving, stumbling toward that first down. And that was a heck of a run by Benson, throwing to his balance as he kept going. It looked to me like he was going to be far short, but he kept going and got the first down. That's a heck of a run by him.
Buell missed him again, or he made him miss again. Either way you want to look at it. Best tackler on the Kansas State defense. Benson gives him a big hug of air on back-to-back plays.
Same formation. Robin and Benson together in the shotgun. They flare Robin. Fires toward Williams. First catch. And Williams short of the first down. Puts it down. Fumbles. Goes after it. Out of bounds. Texas keeps possession after Roy Williams fumbled the ball.
It looks like they're calling him down where he caught it, Brent. Over there right by the 49-yard line. Little hook route. Wide open. Stands there. Does not come back. Remember how Larry Fitzgerald came back to the ball? He does not come out. Ball is fumbled, but they said his knee was down.
That was the only way, because his motion hadn't stopped.
I know.
He extends the school record streak now of consecutive games for the reception to 39.
Well, they've set him up. Excuse me, Brady. They've set him up for a deep one. I mean, they've hooked, they've slanted, they've crossed him, they've run the quick screen. I think you got to go just throw a deep ball and let that tremendous athlete who can catch the ball in space go up and get one.
So the top of the hour from Austin, Texas, and it has turned into a defensive street fight between Kansas State and Texas. K-State with 105 yards of offense and Texas with only 91. Roberson for K-State, 1 of 6 passing. Mock for Texas, 5 of 10. Texas leads at 10-3, 124 left until the half. And the only touchdown in this game, a special teams TD on a block punt And a recovery by Jeffrey in the end zone. And fumble on the snap as Mock was trying to sneak for the first down. Ball's on that football, and did he get the first down?
Going to cost them burning a timeout, though, no matter what happens if they get it.
No gain on the play.
Texas seems like they have not been able to get comfortable. I don't know if it's switching the quarterbacks or Kansas State's front four, but they have not been comfortable with their offense.
Jack, what a wonderful school this is down here at Austin, my friend.
Oh, Brett, indeed it is. The collegiate tail of the tape shows that it's got 40 acres. That's a little bit less than you have up there in Montana. Their undergraduate enrollment, 37,140. And how about this? That's a number of degree programs that you can get as an undergrad or a graduate. Famous alumni, the manager of the Minnesota Twins and the guy that's on the mound today, Roger Clemens for the New York Yankees. And last night, a friend of mine talked to Roger, and he said, I'm going to go out and not play small ball, not going to play big ball, I'm going to play old school ball.
And Roger came through with a victory today for the Yankees, Jack, 3-1 over the Twinkies. So New York goes into that tough environment. They lead that series 2-1 now in the American League. Third and short, and Mock again behind Jason Glenn and his guards Holloway and Allen. And K-State, of course, trying to influence the spot. Again, going to be real close. That's the kind of football game we've got, where first downs are critical. You can see Snyder cross the way. So we didn't make it. We didn't get the spot down there on fourth down. Now let's do the same thing to these rascals here. And they'll bring the chains out. John Laurie's crew.
Texas should be ready to run a play because the clock will start right when they get the chains set.
Got the first down.
Yep. Get ready.
Matt Gillian. Let's go. Got a minute 13. 10-3 Texas with the lead.
First down Longhorns from the 49.
Plenty of time. Texas still has a timeout.
The three wideouts, and Williams stays over on that short side. K-State indicates bump and run at the top of your screen. Going long. That'll touchdown, Texas. Sloan Thomas from Chance Mock. 51 yards with a minute to go in the first half. And the first one to congratulate him, Vince Young over on the sideline. The Horns strike with a deep ball.
You just have to throw the ball deep 4 or 5 times a game in college football. Your skilled receivers are usually better than the corners in college ball. You throw it up, let your guy go for it. The corner gets a little nervous. This time Randy Jordan, I don't know if he was pulled down by Sloan Thomas or he just tripped, and you get 6 easy points.
Jeffrey to hold. Mangum for the Texas extra point. 17-3. He was going sideways. Like Hoy Wilhelm out there. That one through, folks. And there's the young man who took it in. A 51-yard scoring strike.
It's just a, excuse me, Brent, just a straight takeoff right there. This time, number 9, Randy Jordan. Returning starter, man on man. Now watch, the ball's in the air. Sloan kind of gives him a little tug on his left arm when Randy Jordan was trying to armbar him, and then he loses his balance and catches the ball. You get away with it, it's a perfect play. Texas, perfect play.
A little bit easier with Terrence Newman now playing on Sunday with the Dallas Cowboys. His first touchdown of the season for Sloan Thomas, and there are the two quarterbacks. Very close on this team, and Chance Mock. You know, folks, when you see Young and you see all his great athletic talent, let me tell you, let me take you back to Chance Mock and the recruiting that went on. He was a top 10 quarterback prospect. This was one of the best prospects in the country when he came out. We are enamored with the physical ability of Vince Young. But let's not look away from Chance Mock and the skill that he brings to the table. This is not a journeyman quarterback we've got here, ladies and gentlemen. This youngster can play, and he is true Texan through and through. This young man bleeds burnt orange, let me tell you.
He's put 4 years of hard work in this thing, and I think he wore that hat all 4 years, Brent.
From the end zone. Sproles stumbles out to the 20, we check in with Jack.
Well, Brett, you're right. Chance Mock is Texas through and through. He drives a pickup truck. In the back of that pickup truck are 2 cages for his pet dogs, a Great Dane and a Bloodhound. And on the back of that pickup truck, how about this? American by birth, Texas, Texan by the grace of God. I think Bob Goodrich, our producer, wants me to bring this back for his bumper.
Don't mess with Texas, Jack. There's a battle cry down here, my friend. Chance Mock and Vince Young, what a 1-2 punch, or should we say what a 5 and 10 punch. 17-3 now. Texas showing some toughness.
Kansas State needs to be very careful. They're still in the football game. Don't make a critical mistake now.
Roberson. Great protection. Down middle deep, the freshman almost intercepted. Jigger up in the air on it at the 39-yard line. Couldn't hang on.
Al Roberson 1 for 7 in this football game. Does not look like the timing in the Kansas State passing game is there at all. Texas still has a timeout. I would assume Kansas State will run the ball so they don't have to punt again in this first half.
2 wideouts go to the right. It's still very quiet as number 5, James Terry. Number 5, not in the scorebook yet. Dr. has taken him away. But Sproles to daylight. Goes down at the 33, stopping the clock here with 40 seconds to go. Here, there on another stop.
Well, that gives you some breathing room now for the first down. Now they should be able to throw the ball downfield. Nothing short, nothing in the flats. You're going to throw the ball down. If it is intercepted, make it happen on the other side of the 50.
There's Basher down toward the bottom of your screen. See number 3? He's going to tighten up on Terry. Now Roberson rolls in that direction. Going to try to get number 5. Got him at midfield as Terry made a nice move and came back on Basher. But of course, Basher quite willing to give him the yardage of this situation.
Yeah, perfect play. They roll the quarterback out. They get past the 50-yard line. It's a dash by the quarterback. Terry's first catch of the game. Get out of bounds and just live for an opportunity to kick a field goal. Now, the big play was the run by Sproles.
28 seconds remaining. They want all 3 wideouts. Dennis now will go over to the other side. Herrera, Terry, Roberson, time again. Cocks the arm, diving catch, pulled in by the freshman from Palm Beach Gardens, Jermaine Morera. And the freshman with a 23-yard gain, and that puts them in field goal range here.
They wanted to run the sprint out again, the dash to the right, but Roberson's forced to stop. Now watch this layout. Catches it, nice play, and you're right. In position to throw one into the end zone and still have 20 seconds for opportunity to kick a field goal.
I'll tell you who Snyder beat out for him. That youngster was recruited by Florida. The Gators wanted him big time, and Roberson got time. Goes toward the end zone. Basher, he's got it. Basher with inside position picks it off in the end zone. Terrific cornerback play by number 3, who has shut down Terry. Let him have one reception in midfield, and when it counted, said, I'm taking this one away, and here he comes. You don't see a cornerback play any better than this, ladies and gentlemen, right here.
I thought James Terry was out of gas. He ran a terrible pass route that time, and you saw Basher just play to the outside. That was an easy one. Terry just almost ran a 5.40 when you know he's a 4.40 guy. Out of gas, Terry cost his team an opportunity for 3 points.
Now, Mac Brown's just going to run the clock out here in the first half. They're going to take this lead on in to the locker room here. And there was Chance Mock. Letting the clock run out. So there the turnover margin that you could see. And here the Texas Longhorns with a lead, 17-3. We're at halftime.
The Valvoline Halftime Show. Brought to you by Valvoline's Max Life. Who reminds you at 75,000 miles, it's time to switch to Max Life. From Times Square in New York, John Saunders, Terry Bowden, and Craig James.
And welcome back to New York. There's the ESPN Zone, where many college football fans will gather hopefully to watch us as we talk about what's going on in the day. Earlier today, we talked about the Michigan Wolverines. With one loss, did they still have a chance to play for the national championship? Did they lose early enough? I think we all agree, run the table, and they do have a shot. Chris Perry has to run the football. 5 yards here for a touchdown, 7-0, and John Navarre has to throw the football.
Well, they said he couldn't play on the road. He was 1-5 on the road. Look here today, over 200 yards passing in the first half.
Yeah, you were one of those guys, too, saying we had to find out if he could play on the road, and he's definitely answered that call.
This one's not over yet, though, I promise you.
You see the score is 20-17. You see the numbers on John Navarre. Now, at the start of the year, we all like to make our predictions as to who we think will play in the national championship game this year, the Nokia Sugar Bowl. At the start of the year, let's take a look at your picks, and let's see if perhaps you're going to stay with them. Or are you dancing there, by the way?
I'm trying to catch a pass from you. Oklahoma, obviously, still #1, and Michigan, although they've got a loss, it was early. They've got to win the tough Iowa games, and I think it's going to come down to beating Ohio State in the final game.
Well, you know, with John Navarre playing like he is right now, and them catching the football, this is a big game, big opportunity for them. Obviously, they need to win.
You said the problem last week was they heard what you said. Later on, we will have Craig's picks and some other guys' picks as well, who changed on everything. Kansas State against Texas. Texas has that early season loss to Arkansas. L. Roberson back. Is he healthy? The option to Sproles. Stop for a 2-yard loss. Then here, the punter in the end zone. It's blocked by Huff. Recovered by Tony Jeffrey. Texas is on the board first. Chance Mock is also throwing a touchdown pass. 17-3.
It's the defense at Texas that's playing today. Sure, Mock has some numbers, but Texas' defense is dominating this game.
You're exactly right, and Texas still is not running like they need to with big plays on defense, the block punt. This Texas team's trying to prove that they're ready for Oklahoma next week.
And they may have heard that you said you thought they may have been soft.
I didn't say that. I quoted somebody else.
You did.
Matt Brown, I didn't say it.
Yeah.
Kurt Bowles.
It's always easy to blame somebody else. Always have somebody else to blame. Alabama against Georgia, and Alabama, Uga says this thing's a 2-yard loss. Then here, the punter in the end zone. It's blocked by Huff. Recovered by Tony Jeffrey. Texas is on the board first. Chance Mock is also throwing a touchdown pass, 17-3.
It's the defense at Texas that's playing today. Sure, Mock has some numbers, but Texas' defense is dominating this game.
You're exactly right, and Texas still is not running like they need to with big plays on defense, the block punt. This Texas team's trying to prove that they're ready for Oklahoma next week.
And they may have heard that you said you thought they may have been soft.
I didn't say that. I quoted somebody else.
You did.
Matt Brown, I didn't say it.
Yeah.
Kurt Bowles.
It's always easy to blame somebody else. Always have somebody else to blame. Alabama against Georgia, and Alabama, Uga says this thing's going to be ugly, and that's what it was early. Bo Freeland gets blocked. Jared Berry picks it up. It's returned by Thomas Davis, 6 yards, in for the touchdown, 16-3. And then D.J. Shockley goes 9 yards to Jamario Smith for a 23-3 lead. Alabama's getting it handed to them.
Well, they've lost all their confidence. Their 4th loss. They have 3 close losses. And then Georgia, you talk about Mark Richt and the offense. Their defense is 2nd in the nation in scoring defense.
And you know what? Now, Alabama has had this roller coaster emotional ride going on this season. They're bound to run out of gas before it's over with. You know, Shula's got a tough assignment there.
Well, a lot of people were questioning whether or not this was too early for him to get a head coaching job like this. Do you think he's over his head?
Well, I don't think he's over his head. I think he's just he's realizing now just how difficult it's going to be, because it's not an easy task with the probation status, some of the things that they're dealing with right now away from the field. He got in there late, too. I mean, you got to let the guy have a little slack.
And he's the 4th coach in the last 2 years. They cannot afford to go away. They're stuck with him because they're on probation. He's the guy. Well, I mean, he's good enough. They can't make a move. You've been through about 4 different coaches. He's your guy.
There's a reason why Coach Francione got out of town. There's a reason. Nebraska against Troy State. Troy State, remember, had a good week last week against Marshall. And Aaron Alik fumbles after being hit. Ben Hansen recovers the fumble. Not a touchdown, but it leads to one. 4 plays later, Jamal Lord gets it in, and that's what Jamal Lord can do. 7 of 12 for just 135 yards passing, with 14 carries for 72 yards as Nebraska gets the win there. USC against Arizona State. USC, boy, that loss to Cal, so costly. Matt Leinart here, 57 yards to Kerry Colbert, and a 7-0 lead. But Arizona State, who's had some problems scoring this year, they get it going. Andrew Walker, 12 yards to Skylar Fulton.
Well, Arizona State is running the ball well and passing the well, and USC's lucky to be in this game with 3 turnovers.
And you know what? Andrew Walter's one of those guys. The longer the game goes on, the hotter he gets. He's a challenge, man. Last year he did the same thing. All of a sudden he starts throwing for 450 yards a game.
And we talked about the Pac-10, what that might do to them having a shot at the national championship. So here are Craig James' picks for the national championship. Oklahoma and USC. USC lost last week.
You know what, though? Who's going to play in a national championship game is like playing marbles. You know what? Throw them up in the air and each week change and go somebody else. Now, big fella, how about yourself? I had to get rid of one.
Yeah, I actually had to bring out the X twice.
You look like Prophet Ty. Look, that's Prophet Ty.
I'm number one is what I'm saying. Oklahoma and Florida State. And this, of course, is subject to change at any point during the season. This is the Valvoline halftime show.
Good looking move.
We are the proud and privileged guardians of a rare and priceless book called the Gutenberg Bible. And a Longhorn named Bevo. Amen. We're Texas.
I'm Jimmy Kimmel. Monday night, Colts Buccaneers. My cousin Sal's here to pick the winner.
My gut tells me to take the Buccaneers.
Gut?
Yo, take the Buccaneers.
Definitely get that checked out. Watch Jimmy Kimmel Live Monday night after the football game. Thank you, Sal. Welcome back to Times Square on the Valvoline Halftime Show. John Saunders, Terry Bowden, and Craig James. Time now for our No Huddle highlights. And let's get right to it. The team that has yet to lose this year, Virginia Tech against Rutgers. Kevin Jones, big reason why. 5-yard run there. He had 250 all-purpose yards for Brian Randall. Meanwhile, Minnesota and Northwestern, just say this name, Assad Abdul Khalik. That's all you need to know.
4 years ago, he couldn't hit the side of a barn, and now he may be the best quarterback in Minnesota history.
Yeah, they got Michigan State coming up, though. They'll have a couple of football games finally before the season's over.
First 6-0 start, though, since 1960 for Minnesota. Ole Miss against Florida. Remember, Ole Miss got them last year, but that was at home. How about this time? Ron McClendon goes 52 yards on this run.
And they run for over 200 yards on the ground against Florida's defense. Whatever happens to the rush defense of Florida?
In Florida, you play a freshman quarterback, you're winning in the second half, you still throw 3 interceptions in the second half.
LaShawn Pearson takes this one in. Remember Peyton Manning couldn't beat Florida 0-3? Well, his brother's done pretty nicely. 2-0 the last couple of years. Indiana against Michigan State. And Jeff Smoker was smoking. 31 yards going to Jaron Hayes here and a 14-0 lead.
And you know, Michigan State's one of those quiet teams around the country just kind of doing their job. John L. Smith doing a heck of a job getting his team ready to play.
And Jeff Smoker's got to be the comeback player of the year after the tough time he had last season.
Wisconsin against Penn State. Coaches Paterno and Alvarez talking before the game. They certainly weren't talking about this one. Jim Leonard returns his punt 65 yards. And Penn State has now lost 8 of 9 games by 7 points or less.
And look at the blue jerseys. They just don't have the speed. The talent level has really dropped off at Penn State.
The good thing about Michael Robinson coming back as quarterback, though.
NC State and Georgia Tech. Reggie Ball, he's going to wind up on his back. But Jonathan Smith hauls it in wide open for a touchdown. Georgia Tech on top 7-3. And then Phillip Rivers gets sacked here. Rivers actually had some pretty good numbers. He's still averaging 75% on his passes and about 350 yards, but his team is just 3-3. So what does that do to his Heisman chances?
Well, he was my #1 going in, but when Reggie Ball has as good a day on the same field and leads his team to victory, I think it makes it tough. I'm still going with John Navarre and the way he's playing today at Michigan.
This is a year where there's no real clear-cut favorite. Because of that, I think it's a perfect case right now for a wide receiver, Larry Fitzgerald at Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh has a guy that can win the Heisman Trophy.
Or a guy like Walter Ray's at Syracuse. We've never heard of him, but we haven't heard of him. But when he's leading the nation and scoring his way, it'll decide it in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
And what it might come down to is the team that leads his team undefeated into the national championship. That quarterback or that running back would be your guy. This is the Valvoline Halftime Show. We'll continue with more in a moment.
This could be for a national championship. It's up. Yes, to the right. Bobby Bowden wonders. Goes down the middle. The Canes take the lead. For the win. The kick on the way. He missed it. Wide left.
That's next Saturday, noon Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific time. Now, we've talked about one-loss teams still having a shot at the national championship. But because this game comes in the middle of the season, the loser of this game is going to be knocked out. And boy, Miami was almost knocked out by West Virginia.
And because of that, I really expect for them to show up emotionally and be charged up in practice. They're going to be ready to play football. Miami's being questioned right now. We're walking on the field, walking off the field, talking on cell phones on the sideline. I guarantee you Larry Coker and those guys will be all over Miami. And this is an emotional football game. We know that. Your dad said 2 weeks to prepare for Miami. That isn't good.
Well, Chris Ricks is the key for Florida State. Will he make good decisions in critical situations? Their defense #1 in scoring. Their running backs are great. Their receivers catch the ball. But will he throw it away when everybody's covered? Will he get on the ground instead of trying to run over the linebackers? Or will he park in an outpatient parking lot the day after being in every newspaper for parking in a handicap parking space?
In the hospital. Yeah.
You should not. Don't drive your car. Just walk there, Chris Ricks. You won't have to worry about parking. It's all part of Separation Saturday next week at 3:30 Eastern Time. The second part of the doubleheader, Oklahoma and Texas. Doesn't get better than that in the Red River Shootout. Penn State against Purdue, that's in the Big Ten. Or Oregon, boy, do they need a win as they take on Arizona State. Check local listings for the game that is available in your area. College football continues on ABC after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
This Heisman memory is presented by Suzuki. Last year, USC's Carson Palmer became the first West Coast player to win the Heisman Trophy since the Trojans' own Marcus Allen won it in 1981. Palmer dominated during his senior year, setting a single-season record with over 3,600 passing yards and 32 passing TDs. Palmer led the Trojans to a 10-2 mark and dominated in a victory over Iowa at the Orange Bowl.
Kind of music we like to hear down here in Texas. 17-3. The Longhorns with the lead with Gary Danielson, Jack Root. I'm Brett Musburger. And Gary, what do you make of the second half now?
Well, just like the Dixie Chick said, live it up when you got a chance. Kansas State had a couple chances and they didn't do it. Really, you know, they have not been able to throw the ball well enough. Yes, they've had some success running the ball, but I don't think you can beat Texas being one-dimensional.
Well, Texas gets to handle the ball as we start the second half of this game. Remember, they deferred after winning the toss. So we will see that Longhorn offense here, and the ball is on the tee for Joe Ream. Ream represents the point output for Kansas State here in this game. Going this way, that ball's been sailing back toward the end zone. He'll take a knee and it'll come out. Here's our Pacific Life game summary statistics from the first half. Now, these are your normal stats, and you can see that defense has certainly dominated the game. First downs on third down have been hard to come by. And Mr. Danielson, take me to the out of whack stat.
Well, everything looks about normal if you're losing a game except for this. Kansas State has done a great job on the two playmakers for Texas, and they're behind 17-3, and the big guns haven't even started yet.
And one of the big guns, Williams, off there to the left. Johnson's right in beside him, and the quarterback, Chance Mock, runs the draw play now with Cedric Benson, and he is picked up by number 98, Andrew Shaw. And Chance Mock's first half stats, and you can see that that 151-yard touchdown, 51 of his 87, came on one play when he hit Sloan Thomas on the right side. Well thrown ball, Terry.
Yes, it was, and it was a good time for it. You could tell Texas had set them up with a lot of short routes and then threw a deep one-on-one coverage and just made a better play than the defender.
Second down and 10. Is offset. K-State blitzing. This time it's picked up. Mock dances to the right, and he is thrown down by number 45, Ted Sims.
Running back, you cannot cut a blitzing linebacker. It'll get you every time. Watch Sims come in. Benson goes low and chops him. What happens? He gets right back up and makes the tackle. Every running back should learn their lesson. Take him on high. When you cut him, that's exactly what's going to happen. Remember a guy that tried to cut Roy Williams one time, Brent?
He went airborne and did the Superman show at the
Texas, you'd think Texas would learn.
Third down and 18 from Mott and the Horns. Gonna go deep down middle again. Overthrows Johnson, incomplete, and it's 3 and out. So the Kansas State defense does its job as we start the second half, but can the offense behind Roberson pick it up? Lima. Roy Williams. Defensive coordinators, I mean, he is animated on that far side now for K-State. His troops are digging in. So Brett Belima over there. And Sproles will try a punt return. No fair catch signal. Sproles looks for daylight. Almost gone.
What a play to catch the ball.
39. Oh, man, that was something.
He was gambling all the way. He had a dead beat on him. The gunner did that time, and Sproles just kind of caught it over his shoulder and did a spin. Watch him. He feels it. He feels it. He spins actually before he catches the ball. That's a huge 17, 15-yard return on that one. What a play. You can feel those Texas defenders all over.
That was the snapper, Cullen Loeffler, who made that stop, number 85. He's a dandy long snapper, and he comes downfield uncovered. He may have saved the touchdown. K-State is coming out here with some pop. Can they keep it up on the offensive side? Here they go. Change it up again. The crowd gets right back in it. Option. Late hit Sproles down the sideline. Breaks free. And it's first down. Let's check in with Jack Abreu. Jack.
Well, Brent, when Darren Sproles was trying to decide what school he should go to, he showed up at the 2000 spring game and watched a guy by the name of L. Roberson get the ball for the first time. Watch what Roberson does. All the way for a touchdown. Now, Sproles was sitting up in the grandstands. He turned to his dad and says, Dad, I want to play with that guy. And you see he is now.
Indeed, lined up in that I formation inside the 25-yard line. Here he comes again. Nothing doing as the Horns ambush the point of attack that time.
Kansas State come out with a little more determination here in the third quarter. And I think Sproles is the guy who's shown him. Taking that punt the way he did, spinning off, showing that he's not willing to let this game get out of hand, has really lit a fire on this Kansas State team.
It's Robinson at the bottom of that pile for Texas. Second down. Kansas State needs Roberson to make some plays here. Second down and 9. Texas jams the line of scrimmage and whistle prior to the snap on the clock. A violation again.
5 yards, still second down.
If they're going to make the call at the line of scrimmage, they got to hurry up and get it done.
That's the quarterback's job right there, Brent. I mean, he's the one in charge. Everybody's waiting for him. L. Roberson's got that clock right in front of him, right between the goalposts. He has to have a little bit of urgency and get that thing off. It's staring him right in the face.
You can see the relationship. Now they break the huddle, and it's 2nd and 14, however, for K-State. Now they back off into the shotgun. They don't seem to move at a quick enough pace sometimes. Pump fake now, Roberson. Looking for daylight. It's going to take off. Out to the outside. And still going. Roberson, touchdown. What a run. Harry Houdini could not have escaped any better than L. Roberson did on that run of 27 yards for K-State's first touchdown.
I'll tell you, there were some downfield blocks there that just ended some people. I think Brian Robeson, number 39, just got decleated when he was trying to catch L. Robeson, and that has been the shotgun get back in the pocket against man coverage, the best play for Kansas State. Yes, that's
Robeson.
That's who it was.
And over there blocking was number 5, James Terry. I'm not sure that it was Terry who caught Robeson, but certainly number 5, the wideout, was blocking downfield on that play.
He might have been the guy that got Robeson.
Ream adds the extra point, 17-10. You take a look at it now and pick up some of the blocks on this play. Here comes Robeson. Man covered. Takes off now to the right side. Follows the tight end. And there.
Oh, it was.
And it was Terry who unloaded on Robeson and freed him for the touchdown. It's ball game time in Austin, Texas.
Tuesday, share John Ritter's final new episode of 8 Simple Rules.
Wow, you listened. I can't tell you how much this means to me.
Catch it at 8, 7 Central, ABC Tuesday.
It's 17-10. Texas over Kansas State. Ball on the tee for the Wildcats. Ream to kick it off. Giger and Robin back deep for the Longhorns. And after stopping the Horns offense 3 and out, Kansas State is showing some muscle on its first series of the second half. And Robin back at the goal line. 10, 15 to the 20-yard line. Now, Terry, it is worth going back and just listen to the block that he unloads to free Roberson for the touchdown. That's your basic decleater. He's got as many great blocks as he does receptions.
He's got 1 catch, but he's got 1 touchdown block.
We got some cobwebs over there on that Texas bench.
Well,
First down and 10 now.
Let's see if that toughness on that Texas offensive line will perk up now.
Short drop, Mock deflected, incomplete. It's second down. The low delivery, and the K-State defensive front has been impressive. That was Shull again who deflected it. So L. Roberson now has tied the record for rushing touchdowns with Josh Scobie. And odds on, folks, odds on to break that record.
I'll talk about Roy Williams after this play too, Brian.
Second down. Looking over the other direction to Roy, and here he comes. Williams for the first down to the 34-yard line.
Very interesting because on the play before, the 3rd down play, when he didn't get the ball, he took his helmet off. He was very upset that the ball did not come his way. And then interestingly, Texas calls their first 2 plays designated to get Roy Williams into the game. Now, I don't think that's selfish football. This guy's that good. You have to use your best players, and Roy Williams not getting the ball thrown to him, I don't think Texas is running on all cylinders when they don't use him.
Well, they're looking for the balance. Chance Mock's in trouble. Run out of bounds, hit by number 45, Teddy Sims, as he goes out. And, you know, Chance Mock talked about the offensive balance, the run and pass with this attack.
You know, one of the tough things is getting the guys enough touches. I mean, when you got so many big stars, they all got to get the ball, and they all want the ball. So that's tough, but I think the coach juggles it pretty well.
It's difficult. Not enough footballs to go around, folks. It's like that old basketball.
Welcome to big time sports, huh?
Indeed. Second down and 12, and Sims, who's filling in for the injured Butler, doing a pretty good job at linebacker. Short drop. And they just put it in Williams' hands on that quick flip out to the side. K-State certainly not fooled, and they swarm all over him. Jack Williams is a special talent.
And he is a leader on this team. One of the reasons why, because he gathered a players-only meeting after the loss to Arkansas. And he said, look, I'm going to say something that the media is talking about, that our fans are talking about. I'm going to challenge each and every one of you to run the table and finish this season undefeated. He said that's what leaders are supposed to do. I'm going to put it out on the table. Asked his fellow Longhorns, what are you going to do about it?
Well, a big third down here for the Longhorns as Kansas State has brought its A game to the second half. And going after a pick on that near side, they have forced a punt. And you can see how aggressive Jordan was on that play.
Well, the Kansas State defensive line, too, is handling it. You see one-on-one. When you got a good pass rush up front, Jordan can gamble. Look at the ball's way late. And that ball was almost picked up because of the pressure. Chance Mock throwing the ball late with man-to-man course, you risk getting it picked off.
Texas has not crossed midfield in the second half in 2 series now. And Sproles back in again to return this punt.
Up the middle block. Going toward the end zone.
And out for the old safety. So 2 more points on the Kansas State block punt as they repay the favor. Rashad Washington coming through on the block that time. And he just came unblocked up the middle.
Absolutely. A great snap. A bullet snap, but right up the pipe that time. No one touches him. No one blocks number 2. Who's blocked right in the middle. Look at this. Right up the middle. No one lays a hand on him. That's got to be a bust by Texas.
And Kansas State will get the ball back, too, after the safety. Man, are they dominating the second half. Timeout. ABC Sports Presentation of College Football is brought to you by Chevy Silverado. It's the right truck. Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And Pacific Life, offering insurance, annuities, and investments. 52,000 students here at the University of Texas, one of the largest public schools in the United States. And it's a great one. Now, Kansas State specializing in block kicks, the 20th since 2000 under Coach Snyder. They get it back following the safety. McGee will punt it. Sproles is the middleman. Let's see if he gets a chance at a return. Here he comes from the 15-yard line. The middle. He's good at the 41-yard line. Well, tonight ESPN with a good one in the SEC. Tennessee and Auburn. The Volunteers are unbeaten. Auburn, of course, trying to come back after that disastrous start when they lost a couple. And a lot of folks like the Tigers tonight against Tennessee. We shall see in that game. Tennessee, one of the candidates to make it all the way to the Nokia Sugar Bowl in the national championship game. They're unbeaten. That's the first big factor. Now it is first down. K-State has seized control of this game. He's going to pull out for the option. Crossing pattern down deep. Going Terry. Terry reaches up. Fumble if they call it complete. Incomplete. They wave it off. It was close, folks. It looked like he might have had it for a step and then put it down.
I agree with you. That was a well-thrown ball. Off the option play. They're going to cross the receivers right here. Terry is the guy the ball goes to. Coming across. One receiver goes inside. Bit of a rub play. You kind of rub the guys off. Ball is thrown perfectly that time, and Michael Huff wraps him up.
I thought he took a step, but I think Huff knocked the ball out.
Well, he had that ball. There is no doubt he had that.
That was a fumble. That's a bad call. Bad break for the Horns, but K-State says thank you very much. Second down and 10. Play fake now. Stand tall. Take off Roberson.
That was a design play that time.
Now it's about a yard gain is all because Roderick Wright, the sophomore from Houston, making the stop for the Horns.
It is interesting when you try to manufacture a run from the quarterback in the pocket. It's much more difficult because it shows a run to those defensive backs and they're there to stop it. When it just happens unnaturally, I guess, in the middle of a pass play, it's much more effective.
Sproles is taken out as K-State adds a wide receiver to this package. And they'll come 3 to the left side, but still giving the tight end a block. 4 Fullback stays in alongside of Roberson in this formation. 3 wide left. Roberson looks in that direction, and it was whistled dead. So time again.
Offense.
I believe.
5 yards, still 3rd down.
Well, let's check in with John on USC and Arizona State. John?
Well, Brent, USC and Arizona State on this Taco Bell update have gone back and forth. This time, it's a 25-yard run by Lendell White, who just explodes. Gets caught from behind, but not before he breaks the plane. And right now, USC has tied Arizona State at 17 apiece.
I watch a halftime show, and all those guys are crossing off USC, not giving them a chance. They give it up too fast. 3rd down now. Incidentally, that's the 3rd delay of game penalty against K-State. Roberson rocks to the left and throws a one-hopper incomplete. And now K-State is forced to punt, and the Texas D steps it up.
Well, with a little help from Kansas State that time, too. That delay of game penalty worked one time, but not this time.
Basher back deep to return this punt.
Let's see if Texas doesn't try to go for a block. They did it last time with number 7, bluffing back and forth and coming from the outside. There he is, right there, up.
Right again. Beautiful punt. Takes Basher to the 15. He fumbles, picks it up on the short hop. Makes the most of it to the 30-yard line. Texas up by 5, 17-12, and they've got the football.
Did those shipments get to Detroit this morning?
No. They're going to be a few days late.
Did you use FedEx Express like I asked you?
No.
Remind me again why I keep you around here.
You're my dad.
When you need fast, reliable service, relax, it's FedEx.
Did you believe he intended to kill you?
I had no doubt.
A dirty cop will stop at nothing to take the 15th precinct down. New Blue, ABC Tuesday.
All right, number 10, Vince Young back on the field. 3rd series of the 2nd half. The skilled players stay the same, but they substitute the offensive line. They're up by 5. Option look from Young. Here is the pitch to Benson. Benson forced out of bounds on the far side. That was Houchin, Thomas Houchin, along with Josh Buell in on that stop. So during the commercial break, when Vince Young put the helmet on, you just know that the telephone line was buzzing over the K-State sideline because the K-State defensive unit went back over to huddle up. Malema, the coordinator over there, with the changeup, they have to be so mindful of the option look from Vince Young, who ran 60 yards for a touchdown against Tulane. Now the draw play. And the one thing they're going to have to do to loosen this up, Gary, is let Young throw the football.
He hasn't thrown one yet. He hasn't thrown one yet. You're correct. You know, Texas only run for 63 yards in this football game. So that front four and those linebackers for Kansas State have done a great job.
Well, time permitting now, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car on the postgame report featuring scores and highlights across the country. 3rd down here for Young and the Horns.
You can't really give away a possession away. You've got to call plays as if you're going to score. Let's see what they dial up for Young on this one.
Motion, Johnson coming through the formation. He's got Williams out far right. Here he comes. Straight back, roll right. Stepped away from trouble. Fires. Williams comes back for the 1st down. Williams coming back on his pattern, and Young was able to pick him up. That was good communication between quarterback and wideout for 13 yards.
Oh, that was very impressive by Vincent Young that time. He scrambled up in the pocket. Roy Williams is outside. Play took a long time because Vincent Young came in, but look at that throw. Vincent Young scrambled up, but watch him keep the ball ready to throw. Up, up, and it just whips it out there. That is nice.
He has got a short delivery, folks.
Yes, he does.
He brings it down from shoulder level, and bang, it's gone. If you haven't seen the youngster throw, 1st down and 10. Now the option, and he's got daylight, a crease, and he makes it to the 44-yard line. About an 8 or 9 yard gain, Gary.
Let's look at these two guys, Chance Mock, Vincent Young. Both of them can throw the ball. Mock 73 yards in practice yesterday. Mock right now a little more experienced, better with the touch. Obviously, he's been in the program for 4 years, but mobility, holy cow. Vincent Young is one of a kind like that. A young Randall Cunningham, the X factor. Mock has been doing it with the regulars, but Vincent Young off the bench.
Second down and 2. Vincent Young with a little change up at the line and comes right back with Benson for the first down to the 39-yard line. Straight ahead power look.
Pretty impressive.
Offensive line too.
Yeah, pretty impressive. I got to give it. Vincent Young comes up here, does one scramble on third down, buys a little time, and all of a sudden, because of the option plays, Cedric Benson finds a crease to run the ball up the middle.
Ball in K-State territory for the first time this half. And on first down, shotgun for Young. Penalty flag comes flying.
Stepping up and trying to draw them outside was Teddy Sims, the linebacker, moving
Into that neutral zone.
Prior to snap, false start offense.
And he did it.
5 yards, still first.
Well, Monday night, we'll all be there for this one. 9 Eastern, the defending Super Bowl champ Bucks take on Tony Dungy's Indianapolis Colts. He put that defensive show on the road, and Chris Sims, now the number 3 quarterback with the Buccaneers, and Martin Automatica from Kansas State. He'll be kicking for the Buccaneers come Monday night. First down and 15. Keeper all the way by the quarterback. He's forced outside, well defended. They stayed aware of that play. We come now to the top of the hour, 5 o'clock here in the
Midwest. Gary Danielson and Jack Arute. I'm Brent Musburger. It's turned into a tough
game as watch Roberson, who picks up a block from Terry that clears the way. He bounces to the sideline for the touchdown. Then after the touchdown,
the block punt by Washington, the safety, and we're sitting on a
5 right now. A 5-point Longhorn lead. 17-12. Second long, high snap. Young pulls it down on the move. Running hard to the right and incomplete. That was almost a disaster.
Yeah, Josh Gould, number 7, one of the fastest linebackers in college football. Vincent Young cannot outrun him, and with the snap discombobulating the play, Kansas State took advantage of it. Actually, it's Will Allen, starting guard, who moves over to center on the second unit, and then see Vincent Young just fortunate to get that play off.
Third and a bunch. Coming up for Young and the Horns now.
How about deep to number 4?
Young stands in the pocket. Can he run for it? Has he got it? He's got it. 25, 20. Steps out of bounds on the first down run of 30 yards for Vincent Young.
My. Kansas State stays in zone on this one because they want to keep their eyes on Vincent Young. Well, they kept their eyes on him. They just weren't fast enough to tackle him. A pass play. It was not a design run play, and Vincent Young just hauls down and makes a first down.
And the Wildcat 15-yard line.
Third and very long to pick that up.
That was third and 16.
Wow.
Outs to off to his left side. Is Benson daylight middle. And he'll be ridden down by Fumbo Washington. Stayed right with him, and he coughed it up. I thought they'd blow it dead, but they did not. The indication is Kansas State has got it. Rashad Washington in on the hit, and the ball was recovered by Josh Buell, the linebacker.
Well, you can see this is a well-blocked play right here. Benson pops it, goes to his right. There's the pole. Gets into the secondary, tries to make a play. Number 2, Washington comes up with his second big play, the block punt, and now the fumble, and Buell gets it. That's a play. That guy was still running. Cedric Benson was still running.
Yeah, Washington did a great job. He was going for the football, had him wrapped up, and good officiating. Yep. Just an excellent play by Washington. And now back. There he comes. Bull. The 16-yard line. We check in down below with Jack.
Well, Brent, during that offensive series of plays for the Texas Longhorns, K-State's Wildcat quarterback sat on the sidelines, spoke to no one, didn't talk upstairs, didn't do anything, just sat and tried to get recomposed. Now, when I was in Manhattan, Kansas, Hill says that what he tries to do when things are tight is loosen his teammates up. Let's see if he can keep them loose now in this drive.
Well, being disciplined is such a main point with him. Roberson upended by Johnson, and Jack asked L. Roberson, is he more disciplined now than he was a couple years back?
Yeah, I try to be more disciplined. Just take what the defense gives me right now, and I don't try to make too much happen, you know, because in my younger days I would do that, and then I would, you know, throw the ball somewhere where it shouldn't have been and do things like that.
Just dashing in for a touchdown not long ago, now facing a 3rd and 9. The crowd electric here in Austin. Show blitz. And a run against it, but no first down. So they are forced to punt as Marcus Tubbs makes the stop on Darren Sproles. Sproles now over 100 yards on the day. 18 carries for 108 yards. Here's Bright now. We've had 2 punts blocked already in the game. One apiece. So Marcus Tubbs steps up big with a tough play. Actually, takes a huge K-State.
Showed them all game.
Rolls back to the 11-yard line. You know, we talked about toughness, and Gary, I know you asked Marcus, what about it? How do you react when people say this team is not tough?
I hear that and I just laugh. I mean, to play football, you're obviously a tough person, and to be on this team, I mean, there's hundreds of people around. I mean, thousands of people around the nation that would love to be here, and obviously they recruited tough guys, or we wouldn't have been here.
That's true. Now, what do you do if you're Texas? Do you come back with Vincent Young? They do. Look at this. So the rotation is ended.
Vincent will be coming out now from the 11-yard line. Brett Robin is his running back. And on first down, the green light, and he's got to run out of trouble, and he's in deep trouble. Spins free somehow. Still coming. He's saved 2 points, ladies and gentlemen. And he might be hurt. That's the right ankle he's grasping down there. He went down in pain. Vince Young, sprained ankle, will have to come out now. The training staff is there, but I'm going to tell you, he saved a safety as he got back out of the end zone.
The pressure from Kansas State's front 4 has beat this #1 offensive line for Texas. Look at that. Right through. Justin Montgomery puts the pressure on. He spins away from it, and then as he comes back, tackling from the side, that's usually when you get it. Somebody falls on your ankle, and that's exactly what happened right there.
Did you see that ankle turn?
Imagine, it reminds you just of what happened.
Oh, you don't want to look at that. That was really ugly.
That's what happened. It happened to Michael Vick. Guy falls on your leg when you're running like that. Man.
Comes out.
Hopefully it's just like ligament sprain and he can be all right.
Pants mock. Comes onto the field.
Well, he got a one-play benching. Yep. One-play benching, he gets in the huddle and takes control.
Second down and 16.
16 to the 5.
Now what you have to be careful of is your quarterback trying to not do too much. You're trying to prove you're the #1 guy and make a critical mistake. Just let the game happen. Take what happens. Kind of follow the advice of Major Applewhite and just let it happen slowly.
Robin and Benson are the running backs. Bach is going to get to Robin on a misdirection play. And Kansas State jumped on. I'll tell you, Rashad Washington, #2, the free safety, is playing one heck of a football game. He read that misdirection and jumped in there on it. Well, our Chevrolet drive summary, and you can see the last 3 possessions, the difficulty they have had against this K-State defense. Kansas State dominating here in the second half, but now it is 3rd and long.
Even the 55-yard drive was 2 third and long ones that Vincent Young got on a pass and a scramble.
From the end zone, incomplete, but there's a flag thrown at #9. Randy Jordan, the corner on Williams that time, and that may bail the Longhorns out.
You can tell by Randy Jordan's body language that he had to hold Roy Williams on that play.
Pass interference, defense, 15 yards, previous spot, automatic first down.
Randy Jordan's already been beaten by Sloan Thomas for the touchdown. Right now, he feels it's going to be aware. Oh, thought he was going across the middle, and he had to grab. I think it's a pretty good play. Otherwise, you would have Roy Williams catching the ball and turning up and gaining a lot of yards.
That was 3rd and 14 from the 7. Ball brought out to the 22-yard line. And a first down for Mock and the Horn. Chance moves up on the center. Benson, deep set behind him. Changes it up at the line. Here's Benson behind the left side. About the 25-yard line. 2 or 3 yards. And a reminder that tomorrow on ABC, she was lost for 2 years. Now Agent Bristow will risk all to expose the secrets of her disappearance. A new season just getting started. All new Alias, ABC tomorrow. Here we've got 2 minutes left. And down below we can see that Vince Young's ankle is being retaped. Glad to see that. Nasty looking sprain. Second down. Okay. And 7. Straight back. Rushed again as the offensive line could not hold up. Jonathan Scott beaten by Huntley. And Huntley just came through the block and took the quarterback down.
It's got to be frustrating for the wide receivers for Texas, Brent. B.J. Johnson beat his man easily for a first down. Watch it. Little outcut to the top. He's got him beaten by 5 or 6 yards. Just no time to throw the ball as Chance Mockins gets pressure from the outside again and another sack. The last 3 times Texas has had 3rd and over 10, they've made it. Let's see if they can do it 4 times in a row.
Show Montgomery, Berry, and Huntley a big-time defensive front for Kansas State. They're causing him a lot of problems from the gun, giving him more room. Deflected, incomplete. They force a punt. Down by 5, the Wildcats force a Longhorn punt. And this defense is standing up. That was Quentin Eccles who deflected it.
Well, Eccles, the second wave of Kansas State. They run a little stunt. See Mock set in the pocket. Should have enough time to get this through, but one guy, Eccles, pushes inside and gets it as number 52, Jason Glenn, did not stand firm in the middle.
Now the Horns better account for the rushmen here of K-State. They came through clean on that block. Trying to get after him, and they force a bad punt off the side of the foot. They have found something here. They're going to be working with half a field as a result. The punt team not doing its job for the Longhorns, and we send you to New York for an update on USC. John?
Well, Brent, you know USC has to be thinking about Cal last week, especially after this. Matt Leinart just dumps this one off to Brandon Hancock, who does most of the work, 33 yards for the touchdown, and they've regained the lead at 24-17. Meanwhile, Michigan having a problem with Iowa. A field goal has put the Hawkeyes up 23-20.
All right, John. Wolverines down by 3. They went in there favored by that much in that game. First down and 10 here for L. Roberson in K-State. And here comes Sproles. He's hit in the backfield by number 2. So number 2, Aaron Harris out of Mesquite, Texas with the stop. You know, we've had great aerial shots today, courtesy of our friends at Outback Steakhouse, proud sponsor of the Outback Bowl. The Outback Steakhouse Airship Bloomin' Onion 1 provides aerial coverage for sporting events across the country.
Brent, Aaron Harris is the backup middle linebacker. He's probably in for Brian Robinson, who got that hit on the touchdown run. Remember, he got that James Terry hit, so he got the backup. That is not a safety. That's a linebacker.
The third quarter comes to an end. And it was a quarter for Kansas State. They scratched and clawed their way back in it. We'll be back with the money quarter after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
If you're gonna play in Texas, you gotta have a fiddle in the band. That lead guitar is hot, but not for Louisiana band. So Rawls left that boat for faded love. If you're gonna play in Texas, you gotta have a fiddle in the band.
Folks, we have had a dandy here in Austin, Texas today. And now the fourth quarter, a 5-point margin. The Horns with the lead. Second down, Roberson buys time, couldn't spot a receiver, and he is whacked. It'll be third and long coming up as Aaron Harris comes up again. And Jack, what's the situation down below with Young?
Well, Brent, Vincent Young went back to the athletic trainers. You see that tape on his right leg? Well, they taped him up, and watch what he did during the break. Checked it both, and he also checked his drop-back passing abilities. He argued with the trainer, said, I'm ready. They shook their head after this little exercise and said, I guess you are.
That's amazing.
Check his lucky stars, huh? That was, he's got to have the longest ligaments in the world.
Well, sometimes overnight, that'll stiffen up more, though, and that was an ugly look. Here's the screen play set up now to Terry. Busts into the middle. 30, 25, 20. He's got speed. Looking for the Kansas State lead, and he is out of bounds just short of the end zone. Man, that was a well-executed screen pass, and they finally got the ball in the hands of James Terry from Homestead, Florida, and the result, 45 yards.
First time all game, Kansas State showed an empty backfield that time. They shifted Sproles out, and you watch it. Nobody back there, just one, the quarterback. Throws it, takes his time, relaxes, looks to his right, comes back to Terry on the screen. He's got the offensive lineman out in front of him, picks his way through, and then right at the end, he almost loses it. In fact, the ball ends up behind his back on this. Whoa, whoa! Right at the end of the play.
Man, is he lucky to get out of bounds with control of that football. Right straight ahead. Touchdown. K-State leads. L. Roberson kept the ball and took it in for the touchdown.
I'm sure Kansas State will go for 2 on this, so keep your eyes open. Well, the quarterback didn't work on 4th and inches, but it kind of caught Texas off guard that time. Came up and quick snapped it. Very quickly, look at Texas was barely ready that time. Gets it into the end zone and falls across the line.
Roberson has settled in after a slow start in this game. He's now scored a pair of touchdowns here in this comeback bid in the second half.
They did not have enough players.
And timeout is called. That's the kind of detail that will infuriate a coach like Bill Snyder. Timeout. Lead in this game, Gary. What do you think turned it around?
I think it's been that defensive line for Kansas State. They have just attacked and attacked, stopped the running game, and pressured both of the quarterbacks.
Lining up now for the 2-point conversion. They lead it by 1. Option look. Roberson's got it. Walked in. So that puts them on a 3. 2017. No surprise coming here when Roberson hauls it out to the right-hand side. Path is clear. He turns it up with a good clearing block. Timeout. Fire, dreamed in America, crafted in Germany. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you. And Aflac, ask about it at work. Now there's the community center here for the campus in Texas. A lot of folks on the inside watching football, and they probably wonder, where has Selvin Young been? Well, remember, We said at the top of the broadcast that he hopes to contribute, but clearly he has not been cleared medically because he has already returned one kickoff for a touchdown this year. He would be on the field, and he's been over there on the exercise bike working out all day long. Giger coming out from the 1. 15. About the 22-yard line, and now it'll be up to Texas.
It is interesting to watch. I mean, it looks like Kansas State is defeating every one-on-one battle on the field right now.
And Vince Young, after that sprained ankle, with the helmet on, taped up, is coming back on the field to an ovation.
It's interesting, when I talked to Bill Snyder this week, Brent, I asked him, what one guy would you like to stop and take out of the game? And he said Chance Monk. Fox. Look who's in the game. No, the other guy. Maybe you might want that wish back.
Play fake to Benson, roll hard left. Throw, battle for it, and penalty, interference. Johnson is interfered with by Jordan. And Jordan's having a tough day on the corner.
Watch this. One-on-one. DJ Johnson, a technician at receiver. Comeback route. Ball is thrown very well. Comes across, but it was his left hand. Nice quick throw by Vincent Young. Not a lot of wasted motion on the play. Gets hit by Hickman on that play, but I think it was Randy Jordan's left hand that was holding on to BJ, and that's why he got called.
Lionel Carr is working at that one tackle spot for the Longhorns. First down and 10. Slot is off to Vincent's right. Option, sprinting, showing no signs of a sprained ankle. And he is run out of bounds on the far side by McGill. Well, let's get an update on today's Singular Wireless poll. Which of next week's games will be the best? And the audience is saying 44% Miami, Florida State, 31% Oklahoma, Texas. And you folks that voted Louisiana Monroe and Louisiana Lafayette, just order up another cool. Second down now.
Brent, let me talk about Vincent Young. Though you said he doesn't show any signs of that ankle. It may be okay straight ahead speed, but I doubt if he has that lateral movement he had before the ankle. If I was Kansas State, I wouldn't mind if he carried the ball right now. I'd say, can you beat us with the pass? Because I don't think he can beat you with the legs anymore.
Second and 6. Let's see what the Horns want here. He's pulling out. Running hard. Gets it off. Incomplete. Threw it away wisely. Couldn't get enough on it. Roy Williams. He was pressured by Houchin.
Well, you can see also Texas's game plan, they don't feel they can block the pass rush from Kansas State. That's why Vincent Young is in the game. He threw a bootleg pass on first down. He scrambles out wide there on second down. They don't like the matchup inside. They have not protected the passer, so look what they do. They're going to just give up on blocking inside the packet, and they roll out. Nobody to throw to, and Vincent Young doesn't have quite the ability he had before the ankle.
Third down for Young. Roy Williams goes off to the right. Cedric Williams is the corner off to the right. Vincent looks down middle. Got Roy open. Ducks at the 30-yard line. Roy Williams drops it from the breadbasket.
My, oh my. Your playmaker coughed it up. Can't throw it any better than this. Third, 8 yards to go. Stays in the pocket. Good protection. Zips it. Throws it. Hits the 4. And he coughs it up.
A costly drop by number 4. Young to the sideline. And McGee hangs it up with Sproles back again. And a fair catch at the 28-yard line. So it'll be Kansas State ball. They've got the football. They've got the lead. 13-21 left. In the Big 12 Conference since it was founded, then Bill Snyder and Kansas State. First down and 10. Inside handoff to Sproles. He runs the daylight in the middle. And the quick one takes it for a first down to the 43-yard line with Giger making the stop.
When you have a running quarterback, the linebackers have to be ready for the running quarterback. Watch, they're going to fake the Sproles right here. Watch what happens. Two guys outside waiting for the court. Look at these two guys right here. Linebacker, defensive end, ready for number 3, L. Roberson. That opens up the play inside for the running back.
Man, are they missing middle linebackers in Texas. First down and 10. Same play, and this time the tackles jam the front. So we're at the bottom of the hour. We've had 2 halves and 2 very different halves, and they have defined this football game. 17-3 Texas at the intermission. They've been held scoreless here in the second half, and it is Kansas State putting up the 17 points, and they now lead at 20-17 with 12.5 minutes to go.
60 yards total offense for Texas in the second half.
4 wide. Draw play, Sproles middle, fumble! Roberson's got it. L. Roberson, the quarterback, saved the day for K-State at the 39-yard line. Roberson said, man, I'll take it.
Little draw play. Remember, we talked about it. Darren Sproles, tough to find on these draw plays. Gets behind his offensive line. This time the ball, I think it was Kalen Thornton, number 43, put his hand right on the football and popped it loose.
Kansas State now has switched to a little more experience at that wide out with Antoine Polite, number 2, out on the field, along with Terry, who breaks the huddle, and number 15, Davin Dennis.
This is the formation they ran the wide receiver screen out of.
Roberson to take off. Short of the first down. K-State must punt with 11.5 minutes to go. Robinson and Sinline as Robinson back on the field. Let's take a look now at our Chrysler passing playbook.
Well, the biggest pass play of the game so far by Kansas State has been a simple pass. The slip screen to the wide receiver. The linemen get downfield because the wide receiver catches the ball behind the line of scrimmage. College ball, you can throw a forward pass behind the line of scrimmage, and Kansas State does it perfectly.
Now it's up to Jared Bright to try and seal the Horns up. Caught, fumble, dive for the loose ball at the 20-yard line.
Still loose.
Kansas State indicates they've got it. Nathan Basher bobbling the ball, and K-State recovers. Coming out of there with it was Russ Vanover, the long snapper, who got down the field. And now what a critical time this is for the Horns.
All the punts going from left to right have been short. This time Vassar is there to make the play. He doesn't let it run, but he just bobbles it. Easy catch, and instead of falling on it like he should have, he tried to pick it up one more time, and the pursuit cost him a turnover. You'll see it. He fumbles it. Now just fall on it. Just fall on it. Don't pick it. Then too late. Vanover pursuing gets the turnover.
Now L. Roberson. With Sproles sprinting, trying to get his shoulders turned. Oh, is he elusive? Man, after he gets touched, he'll still pick up 4 more yards. And finally, Harris brings him down just shy of the 15-yard line. Now, K-State going for the juggler. They're up 3, 10:23 to go now.
Against Marshall 2 weeks ago, Sproles only carried the ball 17 times for 77 yards. Today, 23 attempts, 127 yards. The game changed, I believe, when they decided to run that ISO play right at Texas.
Second down. Here comes that option look, and L's going to keep it himself. And he bobbled the ball over in the far corner, and Texas has got it. L. Roberson's fumble, and it is recovered by the Longhorns, and that may have saved the day for them. Giger was over there, number 22. He's played a great game at safety. Watch him come over. Roberson gets hit from behind. Ball is knocked free by Giger, who was hanging on.
Texas came with their nickel package that time against the option. Kansas State had the perfect play on, but fumbles happened from behind on option quarterbacks, and Giger from behind caused the turnover.
I posed the question to Mac Brown yesterday. If you're in a crisis this week or next, what will you do at quarterback? He said, I don't have to make the decision yet. He chuckled. He's made it. Vince Young, wrapped ankle and all, is on the field on a quarterback keeper out to the 17-yard line. A reminder, tomorrow Tiger Woods in the field of the PGA Tour's best compete at the World Golf Championships, American Express Championship. So that is tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern, and Tiger Woods will take a 2-shot lead into the final round at 1:30 Eastern.
You know, as much as you try to manage quarterbacks to keep the fans off your back, it's impossible. Somebody's going to have a good game or a good series, and then you got to go with the hot hand, and all of a sudden the fans are going to get involved. You don't think talk radio is going to be lighting it up for this guy?
On the end around, it's Roy Williams. Cut off. Now he's got the corner down out of bounds at the 25-yard line, and it was Washington again. And that's a first down. Roy Williams did a good run. And Jack, I'm sure the two quarterbacks were communicating on the sideline.
Well, they are, and also this man and the quarterback, Vincent Young and Roy Williams. When they were off while they watched their Longhorn defense, Young sauntered up to Roy Williams, and it looked to me like a little bit of an apology. Roy Williams then got together. They said, look, we can win this game. They said, it's a we situation. And then Vince Young walked away, put his helmet on, and said, well, let's go.
Inside handoff, he keeps it. Young with a beautiful ball fake to the 35-yard line, going for the first down, and he's not showing me any ill effects of that ankle.
This is the exact running game that Marshall ripped the Kansas State defense for. They ran for over 200 yards from shotgun, the quarterback keeping the ball and running, and straight ahead, he looks like he's still 4.5, 4.4 speed.
Williams comes to the sideline, and Tony Jeffrey checks in at wide receiver. They have the very dangerous Johnson slotted over to the right. They might be able to get a safety on him. First down and 10 now for Young. Young pulls out. Gonna go deep. And pulled down by Jeffrey, who just checked in. What a phenomenal catch by number 12. Who scored the Longhorns' first touchdown on a block punt. Now he makes the circus catch.
2 times in this game, it's just been throw it long and let your athlete beat their athlete. That's exactly what happened here. Tony Jeffrey, a high school quarterback, great ball skills. He holds on the field goals and extra points, and this time the ball's up in the air. Great coverage by Cedric Williams, but Jeffrey makes the play.
The Horns with a first down at the 13-yard line. Cedric Benson is the running back. The sideline trying to quiet the crowd now so the Horns can hear the cadence. Option look. Young cuts it up to the 10-yard line, and it'll be second down. A field goal, if they stall out here, a field goal would still tie the game at 20. And so I'm sure that the Texas coaching staff has already got Mangum warming up just in case. Obviously, they want to take it on in for the touchdown. But if they stall out, they want to get out of here with at least a tie. We've got a timeout has been called by the Longhorns. Second down is coming up when we come back. Nobody is leaving this one. Second down now. Vince Young, ankle injury and all, within striking distance. The Horns trail Kansas State by a field goal. Benson to the middle, pops it through to the 2-yard line, and very close, I believe, to a first down. Washington, the defender over there, and that's what it is. It'll be first and goal.
Well, handed to the Texas offensive line on that play. They've been getting slightly embarrassed all game in pass protection, but on that one, dialed it up. Mac Brown called a timeout, challenged his offensive lineman, and ran Cedric Benson on an isolation play right up the gut to get the first down.
Thomas, the tight end, is strong to the left side. Young keeps it straight ahead, throws his way toward that end zone. It'll be second down and goal coming up.
What a turn of events. Back-to-back turnovers. Throw the ball up deep. Jeffrey makes the catch. And all of a sudden, you're in a position to take the lead in this football game.
Jeffrey, you know, he helped with that momentum change with that great catch. He, too, is from the Houston area out of Klein Forest High School where he was a quarterback. Young out of Madison Highs. There's the combination. What a whale of a game Jeffrey's had here today. Second down and goal. Maybe Young might want to think about the same play. He's got it. He picked it back up. But mishandle on the snap.
He put a receiver, Vincent did, in motion that time and then forgot that he put the receiver in motion, and I think that's what discombobulated the play.
Now what do? Do you put it back in 10's hands, or do you use 32 here?
Well, either way, or you could run the option play to the outside where you get 32 or 10 on the play.
Well, Benson is behind. Dive for the end zone. No signal. No signal. Just short.
Isolation play, taken on, a leap. The ball never crosses the line that time.
Now what do you do?
By Kansas State.
Now what do you do?
That's why Matt makes $1.5 million a year right here.
Man, you're earning your cash here.
They're going to go for it.
They're showing they got to just go right straight ahead with the quarterback if they're going to do it. He's passing up the field goal on 4th and inches. He's got 4th and inches. Young a little bit slow coming out of that huddle right now.
They're starting the 25-second clock again.
We'll start the 25 seconds.
5.5 minutes to go. This is shades of Dom Capers with the Houston Texans at the end of that game instead of going into overtime. And about this same situation, he beat Jacksonville. Down in Houston with it. Here it is, 4th and inches now. Young's going ahead for it, and he's got it. Touchdown, Texas! Vincent Young, injured ankle and all, has now rushed for a touchdown in each of the last 4 games. And I believe there may be a new #1 in Austin. But let us not overlook what Giger did when he came in behind Roberson and forced the fumble that set this up. It was the turnover that allowed Young and Jeffrey to work their magic. And now Texas has taken a 3-point lead.
Vasher fumbles a punt, and Giger gets it right back.
Mangum to make it 4. Does just that. Now it's Kansas State and L. Roberson's turn. But a field goal won't tie it. On 4th and inches, Vince Young takes it himself.
He reached it out just like David Carr did. Right at the end, he stuck his hands out, 6'5". Watch him reach the ball. That's what really got the ball across, because if he wasn't 6'5", I don't think that push was going to get him into there for the quarterback sneak touchdown.
Now it's K-State's turn. They've been victimized by 3 turnovers here today. They still have a couple of timeouts left. They have converted on only 1 3rd down, Kansas State has. Keep that stat in mind. That was that screen pass to Terry. That big gain for 45 yards. That's the only conversion on 3rd down for K-State in this game. But they have outgained Texas 290 to 289. But they haven't been able to stop Vince Young. And the Big 12 is underway, and it just doesn't get any better. And what we've seen here this afternoon, there is more to come tonight. Texas A&M and Texas Tech What a dandy that figures to be. I'm sure players from both sides are watching this one. Take a knee, bring it out now. We check in on the Pacific Life game summary here this afternoon. Here's Terry, the only time they've converted a third down. And Roberson put him ahead. And then Jeffrey, the former quarterback, with the circus catch. And on 4th and inches, they jump for the score. Folks, I've never heard Austin any louder than it is right now.
This is what you got to love. If you're L. Roberson right now, you put a lot of work in to be a senior and have an opportunity to win a game on the road like this against 70,000 people in one of college football's greatest historical teams.
Option coming toward us. Pitch the Sproles. Cut off. Forced back. Not much doing on that play as this aggressive defense led by Marcus Tubbs and Reed Boyd.
Marcus Tubbs has shed weight this year. He's been all over this field. Big man, over 310, 20 pounds. He doesn't even want to go out. Like, they want to rest him? No. He said, I'm finishing this one.
Second down and 9. Roberson options the other way and keeps it. And he is hit by Wright as he came across the line of scrimmage. Roderick Wright made the initial contact. And here it is. They've converted only 1 third down all game, and now they face another one. They're only 1 of 10. Texas trying to dig in. 4-20. They want the ball back.
The 2 defensive tackles make back-to-back big plays for Texas. It's like Casey Hampton and Rogers, Sean Rogers. The 2 big guys are making the plays inside.
3 wide for Roberson. They'll put it up and attempt to get the first down. Crossing dropped. Terry couldn't hang on. He was underneath the first down marker anyway. Vasher, who's done a fabulous job on him all day, was right there. And now Vasher will go back, and I'm sure he's saying to himself, this time I won't give the punt back.
You're right. Vasher goes the wide side this time. He knows it's 3rd and long. He doesn't go underneath the coverage. Terry drops it, but he would not have picked up the first down.
Aaron Harris is the rush man for Texas, outside left. They set the return. A wobbler. Vasher, fair catch. Got it at the 41-yard line. Well, folks, it's that time of day when we show you the mad moment of this game, and here we go.
This was the play. Vincent Young, we thought he was gone for the rest of the game. But he came back Superman-like, huh?
Absolutely. Found himself a phone booth over here. Got that ankle taped up and brought it back. First down and 10 now. Young still on the field. Here's Benson.
Still plenty of time. Kansas State defense needs to stop. Might be able to give up 1 first down, but if you give up 2 first downs, it might be ball game.
I want to ask George Hill for how many timeouts there are remaining. There it is right there. Thanks, George. 2 apiece now. We can stop the clock, 3:33. Thanks to our help up here in the booth today, man. The booth manager up here is happy. Roger Clemens wins a game. Yankees now lead the Twins 2-1 in that series. Brian Mobilson very sad. His Giants got knocked out by the Marlins today. He's been doing the spotting up here. Second down now. There's the hand-up whistle. Whistle sounded.
Texas flinched that time. I think it was the wide receiver.
Prior to snap, ball start offense. 5 yards.
And of course, time permitting, we'll have the Thrifty post-game report. John, Terry, and Craig. Looked like the guys were having a lot of fun at halftime today, and why not? A lot of great stories in college football. Next week, probably the biggest Saturday in recent memory. We've got, of course, Oklahoma, Texas, and Dallas. And then the big one at high noon, unbeaten Miami and Florida State collide in Tallahassee.
Confusion again.
Second down, and now Williams goes off to the left side of the formation. Young is back in the shotgun. Keeper all the way. Tackled from behind hard at the 41-yard line by Scott Edmonds.
Yeah, you could almost tell Roy Williams had no idea what the play was. He just flanked out. Somebody just said, get out there. We're running a quarterback draw. It doesn't make any difference. Just flank out wide. Interesting call here for Texas. You don't want to allow a young quarterback to get you beat late in the game. Do you do another running play? Do you let him throw deep? If something happens deep, no big deal.
3rd down and 10. And K-State desperate to hang on here, and they're going to call a timeout.
Timeout.
So a timeout with Texas leading by 4, 24-20 on a late touchdown. Remember, up in Manhattan a year ago. So just when it looked like Kansas State was about to deliver the knockout punch, watch number 22, eager for the Horns, get in behind Roberson. Watch right there. He forces the fumble. Recovered. What a play by number 22. The defensive play of the game, and that set up the go-ahead drive. And thanks, you know, the SIDs of these two schools gave us a lot of help this week. Kansas State, Gary Bowman, who's here. And in Texas, it doesn't get any better than John Bianco. And he brought up Bill Little to pick up the checks for dinner the other night. So we want to thank both Bill and John.
You don't have to worry about getting fed when you come to Texas, do you?
No, DeLoss Dodds, the athletic director, he took care of us last night out there, that wonderful barbecue. Lima's still trying to get the ball back. There's Mad Dog.
Plenty of time left in this football game. If you're Kansas State, you know if you get it back again, it's 4-down territory, no matter where you have the ball.
That's Mad Dog Madden, folks. He's the strength and conditioning coach here, and he can put on quite a show himself with those weights over there in the weight room. He'll have this bunch ready for Oklahoma. Look at him. He's getting his lineman's face in there right now.
Can Vincent Young do it again? He's already pulled off 3 miracles on 3rd down. Now he's got 3rd and long again.
Well, the one thing he doesn't want to do is a foolish turnover here.
Right.
I mean, you don't want to give it to him when you've got a pretty good
That's what I say. Either run the ball or throw the ball very deep. That would be my 2 calls.
Vincent Young, the freshman from Houston. High percentage pass to Robin, the running back, and Robin to the 45-yard line. It'll be 4th down from there, and it sets up a punt as Hickman, the linebacker out of Mesquite.
Well, you can see just exactly what we were talking about. There's no way the Texas coaches were going to allow Vincent Young to beat him with a bad play late in the game. Trust your defense, punt the ball, and see if Texas can stop them. That's an offensive tackle there for Texas, Jonathan Scott, who limped out after the touchdown play.
Timeout has been used, which reduces K-State now to, they have 1 left. And they'll get the ball back following the punt. Now remember, they came right clean on their punt block. They came right up the middle with Washington. And I'm sure that if ever there was a time when Belima and the Wildcats wanted a second one, it is right now. Washington, number 2, coming out with the punt block team here. Meanwhile, over the Texas sideline, they're talking about it to the freshman Richmond McGee. Number 35.
And Sproles is deep again.
8 across that front. They were coming. They didn't get there, and McGee. Fair catch by Sproles inside the 15-yard line. A beautiful punt by Richmond McGee. And the freshman down the field with his coverage unit. He had a big leg today, despite that one that was blocked, and he couldn't have prevented that. And he just let somebody come free right in the middle. Now the Wildcats. 1:48 to go. Welcome those of you who watched Maryland win here today. It's 24-20. Maryland wins 21-7. First down, Kansas State. 1:48. They've got 1 timeout to go. El Roberson in the gun, fires, no, incomplete. Intended for Terry, and Basher has been like a blanket on him all game long for the Horns. What a job number 3 has done.
Well, that's the defense for Texas. You see it every play. They play bump and run to the outside. They keep a safety in the middle, and they tell their defensive backs to run with them, force a perfect pass, and obviously that was not a perfect pass.
Second down, Roberson's back. Incomplete as it is dropped at the 20-yard line, and it'll be third down coming up.
Brian Casey, the tight end that time, is the guy coming across, covered by Griffin. I don't know if Cedric Griffin got a hand on it or not. Ball was again slightly behind. Now it just completely dropped.
Third down. Roberson drops off that middle screen to Terry, and not this time. Basher was ready for it and comes in at the ankles. He was burned on it earlier, but the corner from Texarkana, Texas comes up big at money time.
Marrera, number 10, the receiver, missed his block on the play. He's the one that's supposed to clean Basher off the play. Basher ran right back by number 10 and made the play.
They've got to go for it on fourth down inside the 20-yard line. 1 minute to go here. Roberson fires, incomplete. Texas football. Texas football at the 19, and they'll win it.
I don't know if that ball got tipped or not. Something had to happen. That ball was thrown maybe 6-8 yards short of the receiver. I don't know if the receiver busted his route or what, because L. Robeson threw it right into the ground.
They just set up the take-a-knee team. And the final 58 seconds are going to tick away from this baby. And Vincent Young has an incredible performance as he comes off the Longhorn bench.
Boy, that was badly thrown. I don't know if the ball got tipped as he was throwing it from behind just before he let it go. The big question for me now, Brent, is will Vincent Young be ready next week? He is limping very badly.
John, what about Michigan? Let's send you quickly to New York.
Well, Brent, it looked like it was done for Michigan until John Navarre leads it back again. The key here, look at the protection. Throws this one to the end zone where Braylon Edwards is there to make the grab. And now it's just a 3-point game with plenty of time left.
So that one's still unfolding in Iowa City. Here we went right down to the wire until Texas closed it off.
Vincent Young can barely finish the game. His ankle's so bad right now.
Just a courageous performance, and he's one of our Chevrolet players of the game. Vince Young and Darren Sproles of K-State in recognition of their effort. Chevrolet makes a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
So Texas survives. Texas finds a quarterback, but Texas has a quarterback who's hurt. Very, very interesting with Oklahoma coming to Dallas to play the Red River Shootout 1 week from now.
Final 15. Texas wins it, but folks, it was not easy. This was a gutty performance by Kansas State. Off a 17-3 canvas at the intermission. They put up 17 unanswered, and they were going in for more when Giger forced a fumble, and Vince Young, taped ankle and all, came back to lead Texas to an incredible victory here today. The good news is for Mac Brown, you come back and you win a game and you're tough. The bad news is you better get ready for the Sooners. They'll be in Dallas next. It's 24-20. It's Texas beating Kansas State. We send you to New York now. John Saunders. Take it away, John.